4 teams are 2 steps from state, but only one will be going to Appleton 1 week from today. Good morning, baseball fans, and welcome to Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Baseball, presented by Myers Heating and Cooling, the Myers Home Comfort Store, and Wolf Construction on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, AM 1590 WPVL.com, the AM 1590 WPVL Sports Radio app worldwide, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel later. From Johnson Creek High School, this is a Division IV Johnson Creek Sectional Semifinal. The 5th seed Barneveld Golden Eagles against the 2nd seed Pecatonica Vikings, ranked 7th in Division IV. The winner this morning takes on 3rd seed Oakfield, ranked 8th in Division IV, or number 1 seed and number 1 ranked Johnson Creek in the sectional final this afternoon at 3, and we'll bring that game to you on 97.7 Country WGLR this afternoon. But first, for the Wolf Construction broadcast table, I'm Steve Prestegard along with Tyler Dictanis, and one phrase you've heard from every Queen Bee Radio sports announcer at some point is, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. That is Barneveld's hope today, because Pecatonica comes into this morning with 2 wins over Barneveld, 7-2 at McKellar Park in Blanchardville on Tax Day, and 5-1 at Barneveld on April 30th. That last game was more than a month ago, Tyler, but the problem from Barneveld's perspective is those 2 games really weren't that close.
They weren't that close, and it's not about, who you beat. It's probably when you beat them, and when you have the 3rd matchup in the postseason with as high a stakes as it is, a neutral field, anything is possible in this postseason, as we've seen, especially on the baseball side. We've seen some really weird numbers as far as seeds being moved on in both the Division IV and Division III brackets this postseason, but a very intriguing matchup here, because not only are these conference rivals, but these 2 head coaches are legends in the state of Wisconsin as far as the baseball scene goes. These coaches know each other. They know their tendencies. These players have gone against each other in multiple sports, not just baseball. It's going to make for a very fun matchup here this morning.
Again, the winner will take on the 3rd seed Oakfield or the number 1 seed Johnson Creek. And that championship game will be this afternoon at 3. And again, we'll have that for you on 97.7 Country WGLR. Also on the Shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. In Division IV, in the Blair Taylor sectional, Eleva Strum, a 5 seed at number 2 Pittsville, followed by DeSoto at Royal. That's a 4-2 matchup. In the Bruce sectional, number 2 seed Washburn is against number 1 seed Solon Springs Northwood, followed by 6 seed Edgar and number 1 seed Rib Lake. In the Rosholt sectional, 3 Lakes Phelps, a 6 seed against number 4 Niagara, followed by Stevens Point Pacelli, a 2 seed and number 1 seed Gibraltar Washington Island. Also in Division III, in Prairie du Chien, Viroqua is playing La Crosse Aquinas. That winner gets, how about this for a matchup? Marshall, the 6th seed, and New Glarus, the number 5 seed in the 2nd semifinal. And in Division II, in Portage, Madison Edgewood, a 2 seed against number 1 Reedsburg, followed by Waupun, a 2 seed, and number 1 seed Jefferson. All of that in sectional baseball today. It is time now, or momentarily, for the Raleigh Cheese pregame show, presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County.
Don't forget the cheese.
And we're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. Barneveld and Pecatonica. And with the helicopter in the background, we're joined by Barneveld coach Lance Schmitz. Thanks for joining us. And welcome to the sectional round. How do you feel like your team's playing right now?
I feel we're playing well, and as anybody would say that when they get to the sectionals. I know this is the pinnacle every year for us. You know, we got here our first time. It took me 3 years when I started coaching to get to our first sectional, and I believe this is I got to double check, but I believe it's our 11th one. And this is the goal every year. We don't really worry about the other things. This is where you want to be, because as you get to a sectional game, you got an opportunity to place yourself in the state level pretty quickly. As I practiced yesterday with the boys too, I said, you know, there's only 16 other teams in our division getting to practice today, so enjoy these days. Like I said, this is where it should be. I love it every year. This is my spot to be.
Definitely. Well, you pull off a minor upset in a sense by beating Highland. Then you took advantage of not having to play Belmont because they got knocked off. What's your explanation for all the upsets?
Balance, playing people 3 times, you start to see things, you start to know things. It's tough to beat somebody 3 times. And the better team will win. It's just the way it works. And sometimes guys throw off. And when I say throw off, they get scared of what's coming up next, and they try to get through because they're afraid that they can't beat that next team. I've learned my lessons over my years. I've only thrown off 3 times in my career. Other than that, I come with the best, and I've learned that if you can't play in that next game if you're not there, and there's a lot of things that can happen to get there, and that's just happens. Sometimes that's just a coach outthinking themselves. Sometimes you're young. I know my second year I outthought myself, and we were the better team, in my opinion, but we started chasing Cambria-Friesland back then and never caught up, and so I've learned my lessons. I know what I need to do, and I've really worried about myself instead of everybody else, and it helps.
Okay, when things are going well for you, what are you guys doing?
We're playing solid defense, and we're executing when we are on bases. We're a fast team, and we throw strikes. That's what wins baseball games.
Okay, now you mentioned playing a team 3 times. That's what you're getting with Peck today. What do you take from the 2 regular season meetings that you have to do better this time?
We just got to play, you know, and they're good. They're a really good team. They got a great pitcher. Either one that we would see tonight, we've seen them both. They're going to see my best kid too. They've seen him, and execution. And Jim knows that too. Who's ever going to make the most errors is going to go home, whether it's us or whether it's them. It's just the way this game's going to go, and I hope we're in it. I hope we're in it till the end, and I guarantee he's probably saying the same thing. I'm sure he's worried about a few things, and as well as we are, but I feel really calm. My kids know they deserve to be here, and they are calm and collect. We've been here before. We've been here a lot of times, and it's nothing new to them, as well as Pecatonica. They've been here a lot of times too lately. In the last few years, they've really had some success in the tournament, and you know, hopefully we put a good game on and see what happens.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck this morning.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lance Schmitz, the Barneveld coach, back with more after this on AM 1590 WPBL. Raleigh Cheese pregame show continues on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPBL, Barneveld and Pecatonica. We're joined, in addition to the helicopter still, by Jim Strom, the Pecatonica coach. Thanks for joining us. What's the state of your team coming into the sectional round?
Like I said, you know, we're healthy. Everybody's ready to go. we've been, this is our third year in a row to make it to sectionals. So, and some of these seniors, they've been 4-year starters for us, so they've had a lot of experience and been in a lot of games, a lot of close games. So I'm encouraged by the experience that we have coming into today.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that. That obviously this is a level of play that you're used to, and you got to state last year. Obviously, it didn't end the way you wanted it to. Has that been a motivation for this year's team?
I'm sure it is for some of the kids. For most of them, we've just kind of last year. We just kind of go forward from that. But whatever you can use for motivation, I'm okay with that too. So if it is what it is in the back of their mind, I know it is for a couple of them. So we just go and prepare and get ready to play the next one.
Okay, when things are going well for you, how are you guys playing?
For us, it starts on the mound. Our pitchers have been really good throwing strikes. So it starts on the mound, throwing first pitch strikes, and then just making the plays on defense and getting key hits and executing on offense. May sound cliche-ish, but I think most coaches are going to say that too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, this is the interesting case where you're playing a team in the sectional for the third time this year. You beat Barneveld in the 2 regular season meetings. What from that do you take that you feel like you need to do today?
Well, I think in both of those games, our pitching was really good. Tyler was really good. McEwen was really good on the mound both those days. And then we just kind of did what we had to do offensively, kind of manufactured some runs. And we're a team, we'll just try and score any way we can. It doesn't necessarily have to be the long ball. And, if it's the bunt game, we'll do that, steal bases, take advantage of mistakes by the other team. So that's kind of how we approach it.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good luck today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Jim Strawman, the Pecatonica coach, and we will be back with Barneveld and Pecatonica after these messages on AM 1590 WPVL.
Test, test, test. Ooh. Yes, if you were wondering, that was the sound of a helicopter in the during the Rally Cheese pregame show. When we got here, which was a little bit after 8 o'clock, was it?
About 8 o'clock, yeah. They said that the helicopter was here at 7 a.m. to try and dry off the field. There was standing water along the third baseline, and a big shout out to the grounds crew here at Johnson Creek doing everything they can to get the field ready and prepped for today's sectional round baseball.
We did not expect to see a Bell Jet Ranger helicopter when we showed up, but and we actually thought, med flights here? But,
right.
Suffice to say, I've seen that for major league games. I have never seen it for a high school game, which is a demonstration of what my grandfather's favorite saying. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
If you happen to know somebody that's got a helicopter, here we are. Anyway, our injury report brought to you by Russell Law Offices. If you've been injured, contact Russell Law Offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. There is one injury to report, and it is a big one. Brock Moline for Barneveld, a junior who's batting .457, and their starting first baseman and cleanup hitter out with a dislocated knee, I believe it was. He injured it during batting practice for their first playoff game. And it was actually the second dislocation he had, so it needed surgery, and he is out for the year. Pecatonica says everybody is healthy today. Colors of the game presented by Cuba City Family Dental, Keeler Family Dental, and now open Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. Barneveld, the road team, gold jerseys, white pants, white numbers with a purple outline and purple hats. And the home team, Pecatonica, white jerseys and pants with green pinstripes. That is Kelly green for those keeping track, and also gold trim on their uniforms. This is the sectional round, so 3 umpires are coming out for today's game. And today's game is brought to you by Claire Bank with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. We're also brought to you by Complete Auto Glass. Glass America offers glass for all of your automotive repair. Complete Auto Glass. Glass America is proud to support Barneveld Athletics. Complete Auto Glass. Glass America in Verona. Today's game also brought to you by the Dodgeville Chronicle, Democrat Tribune, and Pecatonica Valley Leader, your weekly newspaper sports coverage for Dodgeville, Mineral Point, Barneveld, Iowa Grant, Highland, River Valley, Pecatonica, and Argyle schools. Ritchie Implement recognizes all high school athletes. High school athletics offers opportunities for sportsmanship, leadership, and personal growth. Ritchie Implement with locations in Cobb, Barneveld, Darlington, and Lancaster. We're also brought to you by Dearth Livestock, satisfying its customers' needs for 3 generations. Fully licensed and bonded, they provide cattle pickup and transportation for area farmers. Dearth Livestock, Highway 81, Cuba City. The Barneveld Booster Club wishes our Eagles baseball team all the best in today's competition. High school athletics offers opportunities for sportsmanship, leadership, and personal growth. The Barneveld Booster Club, proud to support all athletes in upholding our winning traditions both on and off the field. Go Eagles. We're also brought to you by the Stroh's Inn Bar and Grill in Hollandale. The food is great. Come early and stay late. The Stroh's Inn Bar and Grill in Hollandale. Follow Stroh's Inn on Facebook to learn more. At Southwest Health's Eye Center, we specialize in advanced care for your eyes, from exams to surgery to glasses and everything in between. Helping you see life more clearly is always our #1 priority. To learn more about Southwest Health's Eye Center, visit southwesthealth.org. It is 75 degrees, cloudy skies, very high clouds, and the wind is blowing from the south, according to my weather app, at 8 miles an hour. Although, if I'm not mistaken about this, south should be in the down right field, right? And I think it's actually blowing from our, kind of from the third base or the first base side, which means maybe it's swirling around the big hill that's down the way there.
Yeah, looking at the flagpole, it's blowing from right to left as we see it from the broadcast booth back behind home plate. So a bit of a carry, potentially. It might be a little bit gustier. And, as you said, there's a bit of a haze out here. And it's going to get disrespectfully humid. It feels like coming up this afternoon. There are supposed to be storms coming up later on this afternoon. Hopefully we can get our second game in before the storms are set to roll through. It looks like weather's supposed to be coming in around 5 o'clock, and the championship game is coming up at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So hopefully we can get everything in and get out of here before those storms decide to roll in.
And we'll have a championship game for you, 2:40 this afternoon. 97.7 Country WGLR. And I have to wonder, maybe they'll push up the start, actually, because of that, to get the game in. Rachel and Ray's Pub and Grill. Stop by and enjoy a cold beverage and great food like the all-day fish fry Friday. We have to wait 3 days for that? Man. Rachel and Ray's Pub and Grill on the ATV Trail in Blanchardville. Farmers Savings Bank is your local community bank in Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Edmond, Hollandale, Ridgeway, and Mount Horeb. Farmers Savings Bank offers competitive loan and deposit rates and provides exceptional service. Visit farmerssavings.com or stop into your Farmers Savings Bank office. Membership or a member FDIC. Our double plays today brought to you by Tri-County Posse Baseball. Quality experiences for players and parents while developing athletes on and off the field. Todd Carl, former pro in the Marlins and Cubs organizations, helps guide players to their maximum potential on the Posse's travel baseball and softball teams. Learn more at TriCountyPosseBaseball.com. Anderson Rubber Toyota in Dubuque powering our audio stream today. Anderson Rubber Toyota in Dubuque when you are ready. We're also brought to you by BioVet, your trusted partner in supplying microbial and nutritional support for livestock. Find them at bio-vet.com. Myers Heating and Cooling, servicing Southwest Wisconsin since 1999. Myers Heating and Cooling, where they say, don't worry, we got this, and hope we get the air conditioning worked on before now today. Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and H. Stokel PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, experience the difference. Russell Law Offices is here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin Russell Law Offices. They are introducing the teams, and so this would be probably a good time for the starting lineups presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster and Richland Center and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. Barneveld comes in at 15-5. The number 5 seed, they were 8-4, second place in the Six Rivers East. Here's their starting lineup. Tarek Marks, a junior, is the center fielder and bats leadoff. Batting second will be pitcher Casey Helgeson, a senior. Batting third, senior catcher Trenton Owens. Batting cleanup is junior second baseman Gavin Fishnick. Batting fifth, Kaiden Schlimgen, a freshman, at second base. Batting sixth is Ty Thompson, the left fielder, and he will bat, and he is a sophomore, I should say. Batting seventh, Hunter Larson, sophomore shortstop. Batting eighth, Hunter Schmid, a senior first baseman. And batting ninth is sophomore right fielder Cooper Shipman. Starting lineup for the Barneveld Golden Eagles. And the defense for Pecatonica in this baseball game. In left field is Grady Gorgon. Center field, Talon Havens. And in right field is Lucas Rue. The infield at third base, Max Steele. Jamison Johnson is the shortstop. Austin Enlow is the second baseman. And the first baseman is Carson Kirshner. Behind the plate is Elijah Knudsen. And on the mound is the guy that pitched the 2 games against this team previously, Tyler McKeon, a senior. 5 wins, no losses, 1 save, ERA of .74, OPS of a whip of .90. That's walks plus hits per innings pitched. For those unfamiliar with the so-called advanced stats, McKeon this season has pitched in 9 games, 37 2/3 innings, given up 23 hits, 9 runs, 4 earned runs. He's walked 11, and he has struck out 62. And again, he got the 2 wins against this Barneveld team in the regular season. And now, our national anthem. Our national anthem, Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school playoff baseball presented by Wolf Construction, Myers Heating and Cooling, and the Myers Home Comfort Store on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. We will also have Brewers baseball tonight. They're in everybody's favorite place to play, Philadelphia. And that'll be tonight. I think that's a 5:30 start or so on AM 1590 WPVL. And again, the winner of this game takes on Oakfield or Johnson Creek in the championship game, which we'll have for you scheduled for 2:40 broadcast start on 97.7 Country WGLR. Today's game is, turn the page, brought to you by Doolittle's in Lancaster. They invite you to party like it's 1999 at their 25th anniversary Fireman's Dance Street Party on Saturday, June 22nd. Enjoy live music by Miami Bay and all the fun at Doolittle's in Lancaster. Today's game also brought to you by Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. And again, our double plays brought to you by Tri-County Posse Baseball. The Posse will be holding baseball and softball tryouts for their 2025 travel teams the weeks of July 7th and 14th at the tri-state area's new premier indoor facility at the old My Tires location in Platteville. Sign up at tricountypossebaseball.com. Barneveld and Pecatonica, and as we mentioned in the Raleigh Cheese pregame show, Pecatonica won both regular season meetings 7-2 at McKellar Park in Blanchardville on the 15th of April, and then 2 weeks and a day later, they won at Barneveld 5-1. Ashton McNett, we have just gotten a correction on his number, and we appreciate that, is ready to go here. And here is the first pitch of the game to Tarek Marks, and it's a curve outside. Actually, there was a fastball, but it was outside and low for ball one. Marks on the season, .391 batting average, .990 OPS with 14 RBIs. And that pitch chopped fouled on the first baseline, 1 ball, 1 strike. As you look at this field, which is a little elevated from the high school, we'll get to the high school in a moment, but there is a big hill down the right field line behind the scoreboard. And whether that affects the wind or not, I guess we'll find out. There's also a lot of trees in between left field and center field. 1-1 pitch, fastball upstairs. And it's 2 balls and a strike. You have to wonder, Tyler, both pitchers, I mean, they are the number 1 pitchers. They're facing each other for the 3rd time this season. That pitch is fouled off on a fastball, and it's 2-2. You have to wonder if the coaches would be tempted to pitch somebody else just to be, different. But you did hear Lance Schmidt saying in the pregame, you don't want to overthink yourself as a coach.
Well, you want to have your best players out there, because if you don't win this game, there is no next game. So you got to play your best players when you can and give your team the best chance to win.
McNett ready in the 2-2 pitch. Curve that misses low, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The other pitcher, Helgeson, is on deck. And here comes the 3-2 pitch, and that is chopped to second, slow roller, and the throw to first from Enlow to Kirshner. 1 out in the top of the first inning.
At bat, Casey Helgeson.
Here is the pitcher, Casey Helgeson, .491 batting average, 1.319 OPS, 1 home run, 20 RBIs. And he'll score top of the first, 1 away. Just getting started here on a nice steamy day in Johnson Creek. First pitch is outside for ball 1. This is the kind of weather this is ideal baseball weather. It's, pretty air you can cut into blocks. Second pitch in the same place, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, the breeze is a welcome breeze to kind of cool everyone off.
2-0 pitch is chopped to second, and that's going to be 2 4-3 groundouts. 2 away. And here's Trenton Owens batting .392, 1.028 OPS, 14 RBIs. OPS, by the way, means on-base percentage plus slugging. Major league standard, 800 is basically good player. So when you have players that are over 1, that's really good. Chopped down the third baseline, foul. 1 strike. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC.
Should also remind people, Steve, that this game will be uploaded to the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel after we're done today. We were trying to stream it live, but unfortunately, cellular service not the greatest in Johnson Creek, so we will have this video available when the game is done.
1 strike pitch. Fastball and a little inside and a bit high for ball 1, 1-1. Bitech Resource Management, a greener way. Bitech Resource Management of Monroe. That curve is missing outside consistently, and it's 2 balls and a strike. McNett working quickly. 2-1 pitch, fouled off, but it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mountain City Bank's Total Line of Credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. 2-2 with 2 out. And no score at the top of the first. And now time is called as Owens stepped out and now steps back in. And we are ready to go. 2-2 with 2 out. Rising fastball, and that's hit foul. And we'll do 2-2 again. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialists in Lancaster bring you today's game. I don't think that pitch was anywhere close to a car, or the foul off. Another 2-2 pitch.
Ooh.
Foul off into the first base dugout, and I hope they're paying attention in the Barneveld dugout because that hit something in there.
Yeah, it made its way through the entrance of the dugout for Barneveld. There isn't a huge gap there, but somehow found its way through.
Time called again. As again, Owens stepping out. Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montford, and at Sloans.com. Another 2-2 pitch. Again fouled off, this time down the third baseline, and it hit the fence in front of the dugout, but not into the dugout, or the netting, I should say. All of these, of course, accumulating on the pitch count. 4th 2-2 pitch. Just missed outside on a curveball, and it's 3-2. The cleanup hitter, Fishnick, on deck.
Yeah, pitching's so important in these sectional round games, Steve, because if you can get through the game using only 1 pitcher, that gives you a huge advantage in the next game.
Swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch on the outside corner. First strikeout of the ball game, and though it took a lot of pitches, McKeon pitches a 1-2-3 first inning. After a half inning, Barneveld nothing. Pecatonica coming to bat. On ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. It went to sleep. Bottom of the first inning, after a somewhat lengthy but 1-2-3 top of the first inning, McKeon, Johnson, and Knudsen for Pecatonica. Interesting fact about Peck, they're the only team here that's a conference champion. Johnson Creek is not just the number 1 seed, but they're number 1 ranked, but they did not win their
number 15, Tyler McKeown.
conference, the Trailway South. They finished in second place, lost 2 1-0 games to the team that ended up as the champion, which was Deerfield. McKeon getting ready for the pitch from Casey Helgeson, and that's inside for ball 1. McKeon at the plate, .435 batting average, 1.172 OPS, 1 home run, and 11 RBIs. And the next pitch fouled off, 1 ball and 1 strike. Helgeson this season as a pitcher, 6-1, .67 earned run average, .77 whip. He has pitched in 11 games, 9 starts, 41 2/3 innings pitched. And the next pitch, check swing, and he went around 1-2. And that gets a cheer from the Barneveld crowd. 16 hits, 12 runs, 4 earned. He has walked 16 and struck out 80. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 1 away. In the first inning, the Queen Bee Radio Sports SoundCloud page. Listen back to recordings of previous sportscasts anytime and on demand. SoundCloud.com/Queen Bee Radio Sports, including this game and the next game that we will have eventually. Here is Jameson Johnson, .455 batting average, 1.411 OPS, 6 home runs, 36 RBIs, and that's why the net's there.
Yes.
Right off the backstop, right in front of us, strike 1.
I should also note I did not flinch this time, like we did in basketball.
Well, we're farther away for one
Right.
thing, so you got a little more time to see it coming. 1 strike pitch. Curve down low, or a breaking ball down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. It is going to get, well, it's pretty warm right now, but it's going to get hot pretty fast, and that's a curveball downstairs, 2-1. And Helgeson's pitch, the 2-1, is hit to right center field, and that will drop for a base hit and head to the wall, digging for 2, and a stand-up double for Johnson. There's your first hit of the game. And Johnson at first with 1 away, no score in the bottom of the first. Here's Elijah Knudsen,
Johnson,
.442 batting average, 1.171 OPS with 18 RBI. And that was well hit to right center field.
And I think the center fielder slipped when he was trying to get the ball. We were talking about earlier how the helicopter was out here trying to dry the field, and maybe the field isn't fully dry yet. It's still a little bit damp from, where we're sitting, but...
And the other thing, of course, is it being as humid as it is.
It doesn't help.
Yeah. First pitch gets away from the catcher and rolls to the right, but not moving from second base's Johnson. It only got about 20 feet or so, and probably Johnson doesn't want to become the out at third base.
Yeah, there's a lot of real estate back behind the catcher here at the field in Johnson Creek.
1-0 pitch. A strike at the outside corner at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carries seamless gutters and overhead doors of Belmont Prairie du Chien at carriesguttersanddoors.com, bringing you today's game. 1-1. That is hit to right and down the line, and the catch is made by the right fielder, Shipman. 2 outs. And Johnson still at second, and here is Carson Kirshner, left-handed hitting first baseman. Kirshner, .306 batting average, .814 OPS with 18 RBIs. No score, runner at second, 2 out, bottom of the first inning. And here's the pitch. Hit down the left field line. Foul for a strike. When Kirshner looks like an old style player, does he not? With the pants pulled up, you can see the striped stirrups.
Mm-hmm.
Except that I can't tell from here if they're actually stirrups or they're just printed on the socks.
Looks like they're printed on with the Vikings logo.
Although he does seem to have a brace on his right
Ankle.
lower, ankle, and then also on his, I think possibly on his left elbow. So there is that. 1 strike pitch, fastball upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bouse Electric called Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Bouse Electric, Lancaster, and Fenimore. One and one with 2 out, and the pitch. That drops in for a strike at the knees, and it's 1-2. People's State Bank for personal business, home business and ag loans. Visit one of their convenient area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com, member FDIC. Again, personal home business and ag loans at People's State Bank. 1-2, and now stepping off the pitching rubber is Helgeson because Johnson at second took a little too much of a lead for his taste. Now is ready with a 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Helgeson steps back on. Looks at his catcher Owens, and now is ready for the 2-2 pitch. That is hit down the left field line and foul. And headed toward one of the 5 domes that you see at Johnson Creek High School. Monolithic domes, by the way.
Yes.
We'll describe that when we get a chance here. 2-2 with 2 out, and a runner at second. High, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Grady Gorgon on deck. Johnson, the runner at second, taking a moderate lead on a right-hander. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside and high, ball 4. Kirshner walks first and second, 2 out. In the bottom of the first, no score. And Grady Gorgon, a .323 batting average, .875 OPS with 12 RBIs. And the pitches are starting to accumulate already. There's no pitch count, I think, on the scoreboard, but I know that they're keeping track of it someplace, and that is conceivably a concern already. That between that and the fact of having a hot day, first pitch is outside for ball 1. Moderate lead at first, short lead at second. And the 1-0 pitch, fastball, or breaking pitch again outside, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. For more area high school sports coverage, subscribe to the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Weekly highlights, interviews, and over 180 archived live streamed games. Receive notifications of future live video streamed events on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. That pitch is a called strike, and it's 2-1 with 2 out and 2 aboard and no score in the bottom of the first inning. Helgeson looks in again at Owens for the sign. And now turns and throws to second, but Johnson back in plenty of time. This is not really a steal situation, but Johnson on the year, 10 stolen bases. I don't think you'd be inclined to do that with 2 out. As that pitch fouled off, and it's 2-2 with 2 out. And the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. I might have 2 hot dogs for lunch. Helgeson looks in, taking more time now, and now is ready. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Runner goes, and the pitch is high, and it's a double steal, and it's 3-2. So I guess maybe I shouldn't have spoken so soon about taking off there. Johnson with his 11th stolen base on the year. Gordon with Knutson. And there's strike 3. Called strike 3, ends the inning. 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left. And our score after 1 in the sectional semifinal in Johnson Creek. Still no score on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. I wonder if we should use my phone for that since I had the better bandwidth. I think we'd have better signal quality with my phone? Or do you think it matters? Also, we should keep that somewhat in the shade if we can. To
Up first for Barneveld.
Grand Regional Health
Number
Center and
9,
People's
Gavin
State Bank
Fisher.
coverage of softball, sectional baseball. I'm 2 days ahead of myself on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, presented by Myers Heating and Cooling, the Myers Home Comfort Store, and Wolf Construction. Gavin Fishnick takes outside for ball 1. I think we just went off the air. Did we? And there's a base hit, and that one's going to go to the wall. 3492074. Yeah. Oh, here I got. Okay. Come
Single
on.
by Fishnick. Up now, Caden Slimgen.
All right. Well, we'll just do another spot here. Pass, ball, or wild pitch? Okay, we're back. Our just had a bit of a tech issue. Now we are back, and while we were away, Fishnick with a base hit and then went to second at a wild pitch. So a runner at second, nobody out, top of the second inning. And Ty Thousand at bat for Barneveld. Squares to bunt and misses. And that costs him a strike, and it's 2 strikes with nobody out. 1,000 on the season, 235 batting average, 686 OPS with 9 RBIs. And next pitch popped foul on the bunt attempt. Well, that's interesting. Shouldn't that be strike 3? But I guess they decided it is. So he tried to bunt. and it popped foul, and so that's one away. Actually, that was Schlimgen.
Up now,
This
Ty
is
Thousand.
Tyler Thousand. Schlimgen before him, 259 batting average, 760 OPS with 8 RBIs. Now here is Thousand, who is a left-handed hitter with one out and a runner at second base. And the pitch just misses outside for ball one. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's a check swing, costs him a strike, and it's 1-1. Now they're back organized here. Claire Bank with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Fastball for a strike, and it's 1-2. Fishnick at second. 6 of 6 in stolen bases this year. Not taking much of a lead, though. And that pitch misses outside on a breaking pitch. And the count now 2-2 with one out. And here's another 2-2, or the 2-2 pitch fastball way upstairs. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hunter Larson on deck. From the stretch, McKeon's 3-2 pitch fouled off the backstop to our left between us, right behind home plate. Great view, obviously, although we'll get warm. Wait a minute, we are warm already. Between us and the third base dugout is between both dugouts. Time called now, and the home plate umpire throws the ball to the dugout of the home team, Pecatonica, and now the catcher Knutson and the pitcher McKeon exchange a word, and now they're ready to go. 3-2 with one out. Thousand steps back in. And here's the 3-2 pitch. That is fouled off again. The Dodgeville Chronicle, Democrat Tribune, and Pecatonica Valley Leader is your weekly newspaper. Sports coverage for Dodgeville, Mineral Point, Barneveld, Iowa Grande, Highland, Riverdale, River Valley, Pecatonica, and Argyle schools. Now stepping out and now stepping back in is Thousand. 3-2 with one out, runner at second. No score, top of the second, and the pitch. Fastball inside is ball 4. First walk given up by McKeon. And here is Hunter Larson, the shortstop, batting .250, 640 OPS with 10 RBIs. No score, one out in the top of the second inning. And today's game brought to you by Ritchie Implement, recognizing all high school athletes. High school athletics offers opportunities for sportsmanship, leadership, and personal growth. Ritchie Implement, Cobb, Barneveld, Darlington, and Lancaster. The first pitch, curveball for a strike. 0-1. Two runners aboard, nobody taking a huge lead. Although more of a lead at second in Fishnick's case than in first. Now takes an even bigger lead. And the 0-1 pitch is hit to left center field. And that is caught on the run by the left fielder, Gordon, and a throw in to prevent anybody else from moving, and 2 away in the top of the second inning. No score. Here's Hunter Schmid. Landon Meeker. Well, that's interesting. That's not a name that we had here. Well, we can tell you he's a right-handed hitter. Oh, Beaker. Okay, that's hit foul. Landon Beaker, a freshman, 2 of 7. And it's hit down the right field line and caught. And that ends the inning in foul territory. So also a hit and a walk, but nobody left. Our score after 1.5 is Barneveld nothing, Pecatonica nothing on AM 1590 WPVL.
The Wisconsin Soybean Association is excited to announce the 2024 Wisconsin Soybean Yield Contest, highlighting the innovative production practices of Wisconsin soybean growers. The Yield Contest celebrates soybean growers across the state and their dedication to improving their operations. 2 winners will be selected from 4 geographical divisions with additional awards available. Entry forms must be postmarked by August 31st, 2024. So don't wait. And remember, if you don't enter, you can't win. For more information, visit wisoybean.org. In-game form.
Bottom of the second inning, no score. And the 6, 7, 8 batters due up. Lucas Ree, 356 batting average, 820 OPS with 8 RBIs. And the first pitch gets away from the catcher Owens for ball 1. And the next pitch from Helgeson is hit down the right field line, foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. And today's game brought to you by Dearth Livestock, satisfying its customers' needs for 3 generations. Fully licensed and bonded, they provide cattle pickup and transportation for area farmers. Dearth Livestock, Cuba City, 1-1 and almost hit. And something came and hit us. I'm not sure what in the world that was, but today's game, at any rate, is brought to you by Complete Auto Glass. We'll get to that in a moment here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul off, and it's actually now 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. Complete Auto Glass. Glass America offers glass for all of your automotive repair needs. 2-2 pitch, swing and miss, strike 3. 1 away in the bottom of the second inning, no score.
Now Max Steele.
Here is Max Steele, the third baseman. Steele batting .328, 763 OPS with 9 RBIs. No score, 1 away. Bottom of the second inning. We'll get you to Glass America in a moment here. Glass America and Verona bring you today's game. Pitches inside for ball 1. Maybe if you can see that, you can read it. Here is the swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. In a moment here. Here is the 1-1 pitch, and that's hit foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Say it, Tyler.
Game brought to you by Complete Auto Glass. Glass America offers glass for all of your automotive repair needs. Complete Auto Glass, Glass America is proud to support Barneveld Athletics. That's Complete Auto Glass, Glass America in Verona.
Just like I would have read it. 2-2 pitch fouled off. Or 1-2, excuse me, is fouled off. And we'll do a 1-2 pitch again. You have to think at this point, the pitches are, I don't know what the pitch count is, but they've thrown a lot in the first 2 innings already.
Yeah, this feels like a much slower paced game than many of the other ones that we've seen throughout the season.
That pitch is outside. Now the count is 2-2. Well, let's see. Last week, I announced with you in the first case 3 2-0 games. This is not, I don't know, hard to say, but as that pitch is fouled off and another 2-2 coming up. Broke would be Cuba City last Wednesday 2-0 in 1 hour and 15 minutes. and then beat Mineral Point last Thursday in about much longer, an hour and about 37 minutes. Also 2-0 beating Mineral Point. 2-2 with one out, and that is again hit foul off the backstop near the Barneveld dugout. Didn't make it inside this time. Ready now is Helgeson to deliver the third 2-2 pitch. That's outside, 3-2. The Stroh's Inn Bar and Grill in Hollandale. The food is great. Come early and stay late. The Stroh's Inn Bar and Grill in Hollandale. Follow Stroh's Inn on Facebook to learn more. 3-2 with one out. And that is chopped slowly to third. Bare hand grab, and the throw is not in time. Infield single for Steele. That ball just really died on the grass. It did not veer into foul territory, so a 45-foot single. And Steele is aboard at first with one out. And here is Havens, 172 batting average, 579 OPS with 5 RBIs. No score, one out, bottom of the second inning. In the sectional semifinal, winner will play against either Oakfield or Johnson Creek in the championship, and that's a balk. Helgeson commits the balk. And so Steele to second with one away. And now coming out for a word with his pitcher is Owens, the catcher. And so we'll tell you that today's game brought to you by the Barneveld Booster Club. They wish our Eagles baseball team all the best in today's competition. High school athletics offers opportunities for sportsmanship, leadership, and personal growth. The Barneveld Booster Club, proud to support all athletes upholding our winning traditions both on and off the field. Go Eagles. At Southwest Health's Eye Center, we specialize in advanced care for your eyes, from exams to surgery to glasses and everything in between, helping you see life more clearly is always our #1 priority. To learn more about Southwest Health's Eye Center, visit southwesthealth.org. And now the umpires are having a confab right by the pitching mound.
Yeah, Coach Schmidt's wanting an explanation on how that was called a balk.
It was called a balk right immediately by the umpire. Schmitz now walks off toward the first base dugout.
But also bought his pitcher some time to kind of collect his thoughts and get things squared away as we resume.
And to resolve to not do that again, I guess. Havens waits for the first pitch. Runner at second, one out, no score, bottom of the second inning, and the pitch. Fouled off. That time you did flinch.
I wasn't flinching. I was looking at the camera to make sure that the camera didn't.
Well, that you can understand, because obviously, with over 180 live stream games, that thing has to last, right?
They can replace me, not the camera, though.
1 strike pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes. Not much of a lead from second base by Steele. And here's the 0-2 pitch, curveball, and that costs strike 3. Second strikeout. Both of them looking for Helgeson. 2 away, and here's the 9th batter. Austin Enlow, 208 batting average, 533 OPS with 11 RBIs. Farmers Savings Bank, your local community bank in Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Edmond, Hollandale, Ridgeway, Mount Horeb. Farmers Savings Bank offers competitive loan and deposit rates and provides exceptional service. Visit farmersavings.com or stop into your Farmers Savings Bank office. Member FDIC. Fastball inside for ball 1. Helgeson is slowed down with a runner at second base as far as his delivery. And now time is called. And now once again it is Owens, the catcher, coming out to talk to Helgeson. We'll tell you that today's game brought to you by Rachel and Ray's Pub and Grill. Stop by and enjoy a cold beverage and great food like the all-day Fish Fry Fridays. Rachel and Ray's Pub and Grill on the ATV Trail in Blanchardville. A ball and no strikes. With 2 out and a runner at second, and no score at the bottom of the second. That just missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Helgeson ready. Delivers the 2-0 pitch. Curve ball, and that gets away. And going to third base is Steele on a pass ball, and in part, that is because Owens, the catcher, ran into the home plate umpire. No intent, obviously, but now the first run of the game is 90 feet away with 2 out.
Just bad luck. That's
And
the best way to describe it.
Has 2 balls and no strikes. That one bounces up there, and it's ball 4. 3-0. And so the 9th batter, Enlow, gets walked, and back to the top of the order, McKeon, who struck out in the first inning. Actually, I should correct myself, because Helgeson actually has 3 strikeouts with that, but 2 of them called. But here, he's got first and third and 2 out.
Yeah, correction on the pronunciation is Tyler McEwen.
Well, that's not how it's spelled.
Right.
But now fixed. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss, and a high curveball for strike 1. Doulos in Lancaster invites you to party like it's 1999, their 25th anniversary Fireman's Dance Street Party, Saturday, June 22nd. Enjoy live music by Miami Bay and all the fun at Doulos in Lancaster. The 0-1 pitch. Curve upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tailed in a little bit also. A lot of batters swing at that pitch.
I think he tried to hit that same pitch on back-to-back pitches. It just didn't break soon enough on that last pitch.
1-1. Fastball or a curveball outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. If it gets to 2 strikes, you wonder if Enlow will take off from first base. He's got 4 stolen bases this year. 2-1 with 2 out. And a curve hit out foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we may well get our answer in a moment. This is a case where going from first to second would be sort of a freebie, because you know that Helgeson's going to be concentrating on getting strike 3. 2-2 with 2 out and 2 aboard. High, and it's 3-2. Johnson on deck. Each team has had base runners. Each team has failed to get them home so far in the bottom of the second inning, as it gets steamier and steamier. Here's the 3-2 with 2 out. Inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded, and the Barneveld fans not happy with that call, but it did look inside from here. Johnson singled, but was left at third. And now Lance Schmitz comes out.
Johnson.
Is this a second trip? Well, Tri-County Posse Baseball, quality experience for players and parents. While developing athletes on and off the field, Todd Carl Ferber Pro, the Marlins and Cubs organization, helps guide players to their maximum potential on the Posse's travel baseball and softball teams. Learn more at tricountypossebaseball.com. All right, well, I actually see changing. No. Yeah. Is that a new pitcher? No, it's not.
No, it's number 8.
All right. Somehow I thought Schmitz had come out. Oh, he did come out, and that was to question about the balk call. But I guess that didn't count as a visit to the plate, or to the
yeah, because he was talking with the umpires. He wasn't speaking with the pitchers. So.
All right. Meanwhile, first pitch to Johnson with the bases loaded and a swing and a miss and a curveball for strike 1. To this point, we've only had one 1-2-3 inning. That was the top of the first, but that was a very long top of the first. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Curve outside and blocked by Owens. That would have been a disaster if it gotten past him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Disaster for Barneveld anyway. One, and again Helgeson being very deliberate, and that's fouled off on a curved ball, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 out. And the bases loaded. Steele at third, Enlow at second, and McEwen at first. McKeon somehow comes out McEwen. Well, all right. I should never ever complain about pronunciations given my own. Yourself too, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
1-2 with 2 out. And now Helgeson steps off the pitching rubber and now steps back in. And Johnson, who had stepped out of the batter's box, now steps back in. And here's a 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. That ball gets dropped by Owens, but again, not far enough for anybody to move, most notably Steele at third. 2-2 with 2 out. Runners take their leads. Helgeson looks in for the sign and delivers. Fouled off at the plate. Barneveld fans thought it was strike 3, but it was fouled off. And so we'll do 2-2 again. And all the runners move back to their bases. 2-2, 2 out, bases loaded, bottom of the second, and no score. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Curve outside, the ball gets away, and a runner will slide in at the plate, and the runners advance. Wild pitch. Scores Steele. Enlow to third. Correction, a pass ball. And McEwen to second, and it's 3-2 with 2 out. And Barneveld or Pecatonica now leads 1-0. Three and 2 with 2 out, and 2 runners aboard at second and third. And the pitch. Fouled off down the third baseline. We'll do it again. Wind is now blowing from right to left. And keeping that breeze would be really nice, given the 1,000% humidity so far. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out. And here comes Helgeson's pitch. Strike 3 called.
Wow.
At the knees to end the inning. 4th strikeout for Helgeson, but 1 run scores. 1 hit and a walk, and 2 runners left on. The run scored on a pass ball after 2 in the sectional semifinal. Pecatonica 1, Barneveld 0 on AM 1590 WPVL.
In Game 5, speeding and reckless driving are leading causes of injuries and deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Whether you're an athlete or a spectator, control your drive on our streets, county roads, and highways to keep all travelers safe. Don't speed. Don't be reckless. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. This message from the Queen Bee Radio family of stations and the WIAA. Batter up. Step up to the plate and score big with People's State Bank. Get a home run with our People's Checking Account. No monthly service charge and no minimum balance required, and no contact with first. Swing into action with a free ATM debit card, your initial order of checks, and access to our convenient online and mobile banking. And here's the curveball. We'll even refund ATM surcharge fees up to 3 times per month. Don't strike out with high fees. Join People's State Bank and keep your financial game on point. People's State Bank, member FDIC. In game 5.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage helps if you actually know what you're doing with a volume control. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Wolf Construction, Myers Heating and Cooling, and the Myers Home Comfort Store on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL.
Eagles, Cooper Shipman.
1-0. Pecatonica leading Barneveld as we go to the third inning. 9-1-2 batters. And the first pitch is ball 1 to Shipman. Cooper Shipman, 161 batting average, 640 OPS with 4 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch, that is a called strike, and it's 1-1. 1 run, 2 hits for Pecatonica. No runs, 1 hit for Barneveld, and that is a called strike, and it's 1-2. Pecatonica has left 4 runners aboard, and Barneveld has left 2, and the pitch is low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque when you are ready. Pitch is grounded to the first, and the tag is made by the first baseman Kirshner. A 3-out assisted, 1 away. Today's game also brought to you by BioVet, your trusted partner in supplying microbial and nutritional support for livestock. Find them at bio-vet.com. Back to the top of the order, and Marks, who grounded to second in the first inning, and he grounds this one to third and scooped up on a line drive by Steele. And quickly 2 out here in the top of the third inning. Today's game brought to you by Myers Heating and Cooling. Emphasis on cooling today, servicing Southwest Wisconsin since 1999. Myers Heating and Cooling, where they say, don't worry, we got this. Helgeson grounded to second in the first. And he takes a curveball outside for ball 1. Wind has shifted now and seems to be blowing in from right, which means it's going over the hill somehow. Another curveball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Not that I'm an expert in meteorology or anything like that.
Well, you are the Queen Bee Radio Sports chief meteorologist, so.
Well, I'm not sure how I got that job, but okay. 3 balls and no strikes, meanwhile. Well, after yesterday, with all the rain we got, and more in the forecast, we're hoping it holds off here. 3-0 pitch, fastball for a strike. And that's my cell phone's message. I'm not quite sure what that is for. 3-1 pitch is hit to left field, and now going back, but making the catch in front of the wall is the left fielder Gordon. That ball seemed to go longer than he thought it was going to, but he does make the catch, and it is a 1-2-3 third inning. After 2.5, Pecatonica 1, Barneveld nothing on AM 1590 WPVL.
Professional insurance agency serving many clients throughout the region. Many of the Peterson agency's clients choose Hastings Mutual as their insurance company. Since Hastings Mutual is stable and progressive, just like the Peterson agency. Contact the Peterson agency today to discuss your insurance needs. Whether it's for your car, home, car, or business, they'll design a program especially for your protection. The Peterson agency in Argyle and Hastings Mutual Insurance, because proper insurance protection is important. You've been experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Hungry, deliciously cheesy, rockin' magical fireworks filled festival loving moments. There's cheeseburger back from Ellsworth, strawberry back from Cedarburg, Festival of the Eye from Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol. Honor the Year Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, the Nathan Fest, Rockfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Pecatonica over Barneveld. In the sectional semifinal, winner again gets Oakfield or Johnson Creek. And we'll have the championship game coming up with a 2:40 approximate start on 97.7 Country WGLR this afternoon. Let's see. Dave Murphy is doing mornings for the moment. So who are we replacing this afternoon?
Dean Michael.
Dean.
Yep.
Yes.
Up first, the Vikings, Elijah Knutson.
Knutson flied to right in the first inning. Mountain City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. First pitch hit him. And so Knutson to first the hard way. But he's a catcher. He's tough. And here is Kershaw, and he's actually going to come out now for a courtesy runner who is Trevor Dasher.
Running for Knutson will be Trevor Dasher.
Kirshner, meanwhile, walked in the first inning. And the other catcher, Owens, just went over to the dugout briefly and now returns. Kirshner, one of the few left-handers we've seen today at the plate. Short lead at first by Dasher. And a squaring to bunt, but a miss there on the pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's why Dasher is at first. He has 10 stolen bases this year. Another squaring to bunt. That one's outside and high. And it's quickly 2 balls and no strikes. Kirshner out, now steps back in. Squares to bunt again and does. This is a good one. Picked up by the third baseman, although it's called foul. And so it apparently either hit the plate or hit the runner coming, or the batter coming out.
Yeah, it stayed just in foul territory on the first base side.
And
Just a couple inches along the line.
So the count 2 balls and 1 strike now with nobody out. Dasher at first now takes a bigger lead. The bunt is popped up foul and over the backstop. That's pretty impressive on a bunt. And it's 2-2. Great Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and East Stockholm PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Great Regional Health Center, experience the difference. See if Dasher takes off now. 2-2, another bunt down the third base, or actually back to the mound. And the throw to first in time. 1-3 sacrifice. Moves Dasher to, that's not that bad. Moves Dasher to second base.
Up now, Grady Gordon.
Here's Gordon, who struck out looking to end the first inning. 1-0 Pecatonica on a bases loaded passed ball in the bottom of the second inning. Helgeson looks in, first pitch. As a fly ball to left, and in front of the wall to make the catch is the left fielder 1000. 2 away. And holding at second is Dasher. That's a good name for a courtesy runner, Dasher, isn't it?
Sure is.
Right, a strikeout victim back in the second inning. And the first pitch fouled off down the first base line for strike 1. Kind of interesting. I mean, the layout here is really great. You can see why this being a brand new facility and really well thought out where things are. There's also a culvert bridge that is behind us that you go over if you come in from the first base side to get over here. Here is, well, now Helgeson steps off and kind of paws at the rubber. It's got to be a little tacky out there, I would think, although I don't think there's been any effect on the pitchers. Now instead of throw to second base and diving in in time is Dasher. 1 strike with 2 out. And Pecatonica trying to add to their 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Helgeson looks in and delivers the 0-1 pitch. And that hit him. Second hit batter of the inning. So 2 aboard with 2 out. And here is Steele, who reached on an infield single and scored the only run of the game to this point on the passed ball in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Helgeson looking in. And the first pitch is a fly ball to center field. And the catch is made by Marks in pretty deep center field, but not enough, obviously, to drive anybody in. So 2 hit batters, but no runs. 2 left after 3 in the Johnson Creek Sectional Semifinal. Pecatonica 1, Barneveld 0 on AM 1590 WPVL.
Choose from the WIAA IQ milking unit or the classic 300E milking unit, both available with a GQ liner package. Plus, agency visits swap cheddar cup too. Contact Old Broker Center, LLC, your GIA dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center to find out how you can save big trading out and trading up on new GIA milking equipment technology. At the Beef Rancher, we understand the quality of food is important. That's why when you shop at the Beef Rancher, you'll notice that we are invested in finding the right mattress for you. Our trained and experienced sales staff won't sell you something you don't need or want. We care about you, the customer, and want you to get the best night's sleep possible. That's our goal. Stop in today on Highway 20 directly across from Tyson. The Beef Rancher for the rest of your life. The Beef Rancher Factory. You got a little snooze time. In Game 7.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Wolf Construction, Myers Heating and Cooling, and the Myers Home Comfort Store, and ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. And once it gets uploaded, the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, 1-0 Pecatonica. As we go to the top of the 4th inning, and the 3, 4, 5 batters for the Vikings, and Owens, the leadoff hitter, says he was hit in the helmet, and the home plate umpire says, no, you weren't. Ball 1. Owens struck out in the 1st inning, and a curveball for strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. After Helgeson hit 2 batters in the bottom of the 3rd, although neither of them scored. A little bit of wildness here. 1-1 pitch, curveball outside, 2 balls and a strike. There is no score. The scoreboard here does not say however many pitches, so we would just be guessing. But I don't think either of these guys is on pace to go all 7 innings. Fastball that is fouled off down the first base side, and it's 2-2. Russell Law Offices is here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. 2-2 is popped up, foul, and that one hits behind the bleachers here, and it's another 2-2 pitch coming up. We'll have the Peterson Agency halftime report after the top of the 4th. McEwen ready, and the pitch. Curveball inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fishnick on deck. Three and two with nobody out. And here is the pitch. Curve fouled on the third base side, and one of the Pecatonica coaches sitting in front of the opening to the third base dugout tried to grab it, but did not succeed. He needed a glove to do that. 3-2, nobody out, and the pitch. And that misses inside and high for ball 4. Owens walks. So he's aboard at first. Owens 9 for 11 in stolen bases. You know, when you're a catcher, if you have more than 0 stolen bases, that's pretty impressive.
Right.
Fishnick singled and went to second on a wild pitch in the second inning. He's got the only Barneveld hit to this point. And he squares to bunt.
Ooh.
And butted foul, and I think
it went off the shoulder of the catcher.
Well, that's what I thought. Was that because of the bunt, or it just hit it off his... And apparently it was a bunt, so it's strike 1. So Knutson kind of waving his left arm, trying to get the feeling back, or trying to get rid of the feeling he has.
Yeah, I think it hit him in the one spot where the padding doesn't cover, on the backside of his shoulder.
Yeah, you got to be tough to be a catcher. Here comes the 1-strike pitch. Another butt attempt right in front of the plate. Grabbed by McEwen, the throw to first. And out at first. That was a great play there to get the out. Owens to second. So one away and a runner at second. And now Knutson and McEwen have a mound conference, which allows us to tell you that Tri-County Posse Baseball, one of our sponsors today, the Posse will be holding baseball and softball tryouts for their 2025 travel teams the weeks of July 7th and 14th at the Tri-State area's new premier indoor facility at the old Mine Tires location in Platteville. Sign up at TriCountyPosseBaseball.com. Here's Schlimgen, who struck out on a butt attempt in the second inning. 1-0 Pecatonica. Top of the fourth inning, one away in the tying run at second base, and now once again they come out. Another mound conference. And now Knutson and McEwen ready to go. Tying run at second, one away, and the pitch. And that's a fastball downstairs for ball 1. Not much of a lead at second for Owens. And the 1-0 pitch fouled off the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. Claire Bank, where there are 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. 1-1, and McEwen's looking in for the sign. Took too much time in the opinion of Schlimgen, who now steps out and now steps back in. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball hit to center field, and coming up and making the catch is the center fielder. Havens makes the catch. And staying at second base. Staying at second base is Owens. He's there with 2 out. And now Thousand, who walked back in the second inning. 1-0 Pecatonica. 2 away in the top of the fourth.
Up now, Ty Thousand.
Thousand, a left-handed batter. And here comes the first pitch. And that is a strike. That was a nice fastball that kind of tailed away, but apparently clipped the outside corner of the process. 1 strike. McEwen delivers. And that just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Did you see, by the way, what's at the concession stand here?
I did not see what's over there.
Well, for one thing, shave ice. For another thing, kettle corn.
Ooh.
I think our lunch options were pretty good at in between games here. 1-1 pitch. That is hit to right field. And going back, it's going to be off the wall. And this will tie the game as Owen scores. It's an RBI double for 1,000. We're tied at 1. Double to right center.
Scores Owens.
And Larson now to the plate and able to drive in the go-ahead run here in the top of the 4th inning.
Up now, Hunter Larson.
Larson lined out to left in the 2nd inning. The first pitch, that is hit to right center field, and that will drop for a base hit. And rounding third is 1,000. He will score, and Barneveld takes the lead. Larson with an RBI single.
The single scores 1,000.
1,000 comes in.
Up now,
2 runs.
Beaker.
And here is Beaker, who flied to right, actually popped out to right field in the 1st inning. And now McEwen wants a different baseball and gets it from his catcher. And here's the first pitch. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. And now throw to first. And back there in time is Beaker. Beaker doesn't have a stolen base. Coming into the game, he was 2 for 7 on the season, but a .667 OPS. Pitch is outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Correction, 1 ball, no strikes. And now Knudsen comes out for a word with McEwen. And today's game brought to you by the Dodgeville Chronicle, Democrat Tribune, and Pecatonica Valley Leader, your weekly newspaper with sports coverage for Dodgeville, Mineral Point, Barneveld, Iowa Grant, Highland, River Valley, Pecatonica, and Argyle schools. 2-1 Barneveld. 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Both of the runs with 2 outs. Curveball for a strike. And the count now 2 balls and a strike with 2 away. Here's the 2-1. Took something off that time, and Beaker swung and missed, and it's 2-2 with 2 out. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Tick foul at the plate. And we'll do 2-2 again. McEwen ready, gets the sign, or the simulated sign from Knudsen. And here is the 2-2 pitch. That's way outside, 3-2. When I said simulated sign, that was one of the changes in baseball this year. The rules specifically say you have to look into the catcher, whether you get the signal from him or your coach in the dugout. So you have to simulate looking at your catcher, or look at your catcher either way. 3-2 with 2 out. Curveball inside, ball 4. That moves Larson to second. And out here is Shipman, who grounded to the pitcher in the 3rd inning.
Cooper Shipman.
2 runs in this top of the 4th inning, and Barneveld leads Pecatonica 2-1.
All of them coming on 2 outs, too. That's the most impressive part about all of this.
Here is McEwen's first pitch. And that's a fastball for a strike. Now McEwen kicking at the mound to rearrange the dirt. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball outside, 1-1.
I'm kind of wondering, Steve, about the pitching strategy the rest of the way. I mean, both pitchers have been laboring throughout this game. Do you make the pitching change now in hopes that you get a fresh arm and try and keep the team's momentum going?
Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt, and that allows Larson to get to third. I think that'll be a wild pitch, but it is a strike. And meanwhile, Beeker at first held there. So it's first and third and 2 out. And a ball and 2 strikes. Of course, he has the option, certainly Beeker does, to run here. Probably would not get a throw. 1 and 2 at 2 out. Curveball, and that is strike 3. But 2 runs scored on 2 hits and 2 walks. 2 runners left. And after 3.5 innings in the sectional semifinal, Barneveld now leads Pecatonica 2-1. Peterson Agency halftime report after these messages on AM 1590 WPVL.
Dr. Ron Wright, and Brian Quick, PAC. In addition to primary care, our clinic offers lab, radiology, and rehabilitation services. For appointments, call 608-723-2131. Grange Regional Community Clinic, Fenimore. Better health starts here. Folding the fitted sheet, programming the thermostat, matching your socks. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your home doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like finding that missing sock. That's simple human sense.
Ask Brian Peterson of the Peterson Agency in Argyle if auto owners make sense for you. In-game 8.
And speaking of which, time for the Peterson Agency halftime report presented by the Peterson Agency in Argyle. Brian Peterson specializes in home, farm, auto, and umbrella policies. 2-1 Barneveld over Pecatonica. 1 strike to Havens. Next pitch is fouled off, and it's 2 strikes to Havens, who struck out looking in the second inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Barneveld. And the pitch is inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Pecatonica. 4 runners left aboard for Barneveld and 6 for Pecatonica, and a swing and a miss by Havens for strike 3. 1 away. Peck got 1 run in the second inning on a bases loaded pass ball, but Barneveld got 2 in the top of the 4th inning on back-to-back 2-out hits. Here's Enlow, and he swings and misses. Enlow walked back to the back in the second inning. Certainly, Pecatonica, if they lose this game, is going to kick themselves for having left as many base runners on in the first 3 innings. That pitch is in the dirt for ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 2 pitchers, the 2 starting pitchers, are number 1 pitchers. They've thrown a lot of pitches already in this game. They don't look like they're going to go all 7. Curveball hit foul, and it's 1 and 2. Helgeson kind of walks around on the mound. And now is ready with the 1-2 pitch. Chop down the third baseline, foul, and it's still 1 and 2. Ritchie Implement recognizes all high school athletes. High school athletics offers opportunities for sportsmanship, leadership, and personal growth. Ritchie Implement, Cobb, Barneveld, Darlington, and Lancaster. The pitch is inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter for the Six Rivers East champ Pecatonica Vikings. Curve outside, 3-2. Appeal to first, and no swing rules the first base umpire. Leadoff batter McEwen on deck. Helgeson ready, and the 3-2 pitch. Got the inside corner for a called strike 3. That is the 5th strikeout for Helgeson. And back to the top of the order, McEwen, who was one of those strikeouts in the first inning, and then walked in the second. 2-1, Barneveld with 2 out in the top of the 4th inning, and that's a flare to second and caught. And that ends the inning. 1, 2, 3. That is actually the first time Pecatonica has gone down in order in an inning today. At our score after 4 in the sectional semifinal, Barneveld 2, Pecatonica 1 on AM 1590 WPVL.
And if you're looking for some warm food, head out.
This is Kyle Rockford, and I'm thrilled to announce that I'll be joining Pecatonica Family Dental in our locations in Darlington and Stewart as a doctor of dental surgery. From varsity football and baseball at Darlington High School to molecular biology research at Loras College, my journey has been about dedication and excellence. I'm excited to help provide top-notch general dental services at our 3 locations. Call now to schedule your appointment and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Stewart Family Dental. Keep smiling, Tri-State.
Tickets to see Milwaukee baseball. Sign up at Biggs Automotive in Lancaster, Boondock Sports Bar in Wazuka, Downtown Liquors in Lancaster, Harbor Brothers Creamery in Boscoville, the Lead Mine Tavern, and I Don't Care Pub and Grub in North Andover. And don't forget Pizzeria Uno, the Annex, and the Back Bar. Home team real estate coverage of Milwaukee baseball can be heard on AM 1590 WPVL. Presented by Napa Auto Parts of Boscoville, Pace Automotive, and Good News Garage. In game 9.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Myers Heating and Cooling, the Myers Home Comfort Store, and Wolf Construction on AM 1590 WPVL. 2-1, Barneveld leads Pecatonica as we head to the 5th inning. And today's game brought to you by Complete Auto Glass. Glass America offers glass for all of your automotive needs. Complete Auto Glass, Glass America is proud to support Barneveld Athletics. Complete Auto Glass, Glass America in Verona. Called strike to Marks, who grounded to second in the first, grounded to third in the third, and that pitch is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pecatonica with 1 in the bottom of the second, Barneveld with 2 in the top of the 4th inning. That's where our score is right now. That pitch is outside, corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. We think the game is going to be on, or let me rephrase it, slated for 3 o'clock, the sectional final, but it may be earlier if the weather proves to be an issue. It'll either way, as the pitch outside 2-2, it'll be on AM 1590 WPVL. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 away. Top of the 5th inning. That is the 3rd strikeout for McEwen.
Up now, Casey Helgeson.
Helgeson grounded to second in the first, flied to left in the third. Dearth Livestock, satisfying its customers' needs for 3 generations. That's a called strike, fully licensed and bonded. They provide cattle pickup and transportation for area farmers. Dearth Livestock, Highway 81, Cuba City. It is time called. Clouded over. The Stroh's in Bar and Grill in Hollandale. The food is great. Come early and stay late. The Stroh's Inn Bar and Grill in Hollandale. Follow Stroh's Inn on Facebook to learn more. Line right back to the pitcher, McEwen, who throws to first, 2 away in the top of the 5th inning. And here is Owens, who struck out in the first, walked and scored one of the 2 runs for Barneveld in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch is inside for ball 1. McEwen's pitch, swing and a miss outside. And it's quickly 0-2. The Barneveld Booster Club wishes our Eagles baseball team all the best in today's competition. High school athletics offers opportunities for sportsmanship, leadership, and personal growth. The Barneveld Booster Club, proud to support all area athletes and upholding our winning traditions, both on and off the field. Go Eagles. 2 balls and a strike with 2 away. And the pitch. That's a strike on the knee, at the knees, and it's 2-2 with 2 out. McEwen 1 pitch away from something that hasn't happened very often today, a 1-2-3 inning. That's fouled off, and I think that hit the mask of the catcher, Knutson. Remember, he was nailed in the arm or shoulder earlier in the game, the left arm or shoulder. And so now a moment to manicure here, and we're brought to you by Rachel and Ray's Pub and Grill. Stop by and enjoy a cold beverage and great food like the all-day Fish Fry Fridays. Rachel and Ray's Pub and Grill on the ATV Trail in Blanchardville. Now the pitcher McEwen went over to have a word with Steele, the 3rd baseman. Now he is back. And ready for another 2-0 pitch, or 2-strike pitch. That misses on a curve. And correction, it's now 3-2 with 2 out. Fishnick is on deck. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball riding inside. And that pretty uncommon thing today, a 1-2-3 inning after 4.5. Barneveld 2, Pecatonica 1 on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL.
Heating and cooling is your trusted residential heating and cooling system service provider. Getting Myers Comfort Club for peace of mind throughout the year and around the clock. Myers Heating and Cooling in Lancaster. Don't worry, we got this.
When Mother Nature or bad luck messes up your vehicle, it doesn't have to get worse. Taylor Weber with Abra Auto Body shares how they ease the pain of repair.
We assist with all of the insurance paperwork, so as long as you have the claim started, we can handle the claim after that. We offer loaner cars, and we have a lifetime warranty on all work performed. We try to make sure the process as seamless as possible.
Abra Auto Body, a division of Anderson Weber Toyota. When you're ready.
In-game fun.
At Southwest Health's Eye Center, we specialize in advanced care for your eyes, from exams to surgery to glasses and everything in between. Helping you see life more clearly is always our #1 priority. To learn more about Southwest Health's Eye Center, visit southwesthealth.org. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1, Barneveld.
Jamison,
Johnson, Knutson, and Kirscher, the 2, 3, 4 batters for the Vikings. Johnson doubled in, or actually singled in the first, left at third, struck out looking in the 2nd inning. And the first pitch is a strike at the knees. It is clouded over. There was actually there is a little bit of blue sky, but that's northeast of us. And so the clouds are a little heavier right now. The 0-1's curveball for a strike. And quickly 0-2.
Our equipment was cooking for a little while there.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's better now. It's not quite as hot. Still is humid. And the 0-2 pitch. Curveball, strike 3. Down goes Johnson on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 6 for Helgeson. Here is Kirschner, who walked in the first. Sacrifice, one more time, Knutson, who flied to right in the first.
Elijah Knutson.
Hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Pecatonica has left 6 runners on base, 2 each in the first 3 innings. And that's hit foul. Out of play for strike 1. Farmers Savings Bank, your local community bank in Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Edmond, Hollandville, Ridgeway, and Mount Horeb. Farmers Savings Bank offers competitive loan and deposit rates and provides exceptional service. Visit farmerssavings.com or stop into your Farmers Savings Bank office, member FDIC. That's foul down the right field line and out of play. And quickly 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Chopped to short and scooped up by Larson, who sidearms it over to first. And 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kirschner now walked in the first inning, and then a sacrifice in the 3rd. 2-1 Barneveld. Peck with 2 runs in the 2nd, but Barneveld 2 runs in the, Peck with 1 run in the 2nd. Barneveld with 2 runs at the top of the 4th, and that's the margin. Curveball that misses for ball 1. One-0 pitch. That is hit opposite field and dumped into left field for a base hit. So Kirschner with his first official at bat, and it's a base hit.
Single by
3rd hit of the
Kirschner.
game for the Vikings.
Up now, Grady Gordon.
And here's Gordon, who struck out looking in the first, flied to left in the 3rd. Kirschner the tying run at first base, but you got to get him home if you're Pecatonica. First pitch, big hook to that one, but it misses outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and a called strike and a little bit of a wave, although I don't think they really counted as a swing, but the pitch was in the strike zone, so it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1, and hit to the first baseman, who makes a great play. Grabbed and steps on first base for the final out of the top of the 5th, bottom of the 5th, excuse me. 1 hit, 1 left through 5 in the sectional semifinal in Johnson Creek. 2-1 Barneveld on AM 1590 WPVL.
Research shows that real milk does 2-day muscle, and that's why chocolate milk restores post-game muscle for athletes like 2 other beverages. That's why the pros know they're going to need milk to fuel their performance. Fuel their inspiring stories at GonnaNeedMilk.com. GONNA NeedMilk.com. Brought to you by Jerry Summers of Wisconsin. Batter up. Step up to the plate and score big with People's State Bank. Get a home run with our People's Checking Account. No monthly service charge and no minimum balance required, and also taxless first. Swing into action with a free ATM debit card, your initial order of checks, and access to our convenient online and mobile banking. And here's the curveball. We'll even refund ATM surcharge fees up to 3 times per month. Don't strike out with high fees. Join People's State Bank and keep your financial game on point. People's State Bank, member FDIC. In game 11.
Today's game also brought to you by Dulos in Lancaster, and they invite you to party like it's 1999 at their 25th anniversary Fireman's Dance Street Party on Saturday, June 22nd. Enjoy live music by Miami Bay and all the fun at Doolittle's in Lancaster.
Up first for the Eagles, Gavin Fishnick.
Fishnick will lead off in the top of the 6th inning, 2-1 Barneveld. And the first pitch is low, and this for ball one. This is the point that you start to wonder how long the pitchers are going to stay in because the pitch count has been getting up there. Next pitch is a fastball low outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Fishnick singled in the first, the second inning, sacrificed in the fourth. Swing and a miss. He went a little sidearm there, did McEwen. That's ball to strike. Quickly working, bounced it up there. Actually, now the count 3-1. McEwen looks in, now ready with a 3-1 pitch. Fouled off. And it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Claire Bank with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proudly supporting this area's community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. 3-2 with nobody out. Schlimgen is on deck. McEwen looks down, now he's ready. And here's the 3-2 from the windup, and that misses. First base umpire is asked, did he swing? And the answer is no. So Fishnick aboard at first with nobody out in the top of the 6th. Today's game brought to you by the Dodgeville Chronicle, Democrat Tribune, and Pecatonica Valley Leader, your weekly newspaper sports sports coverage for Dodgeville, Mineral Point, Barneveld, Iowa Grande, Highland, Riverdale, the River Valley, Pecatonica, and Argyle schools. Schlimgen struck out on a bunt attempt in the 2nd inning and then flied to center in the 4th. And obviously, that's a huge insurance run over at first base. And you got to figure Barneveld's going to play this for 1 run in the top of the 6th with a 2-1 lead. There's the bunt attempt, and actually he didn't offer at it, but the pitch is a strike for strike 1. And now stepping out and looking at the signal from his coach Lance Schmitz at the third base dugout, or third base coaching box. And now back in is Fishnick. I don't know how in the world you can tell what that was based on all that, but apparently baseball guys have a way. It is a bunt, and it goes back to McEwen, and he throws to first in time. So the sacrifice moves Fishnick to second with 1 away. And here is Thousand, who walked into second, and then an RBI double and scored in the top of the 4th inning. 2-1 Barneveld with 1 away in the top of the 6th inning. The Stroh's Inn Bar and Grill in Hollandale. The food is great. Come early and stay late. The Stroh's Inn Bar and Grill in Hollandale. Follow Stroh's Inn on Facebook to learn more. And getting the free pass is Thousand. So he's at first. And you're doing that just to get the force out on the bases, obviously. So here's Larson, who lined to left in the 2nd inning, then an RBI single in the 4th, and now time is called, and all the base runners come over, and the batter come over to talk to their coach. Are we getting a new pitcher? No, not yet, it looks like.
Yeah, same pitcher that's still out there. I think it's just a conversation of what to do so that you avoid the double play.
And conversely, Coach, the infielders with 1 out, what they want to do to get out of this inning. We have not had a Tri-County Posse baseball double play yet in this game. Here's the first pitch to Larson, and that's a called strike. (2-1) Barneveld over Pecatonica. 1 away, top of the 6th, 2 runners aboard. Next pitch, fastball upstairs, 1-1. 3 hits for Barneveld. They've left 4 runners aboard. And the 1-1 pitch that goes outside, 2 balls and a strike. Pecatonica has left 7 runners on board. They've had their chances, but Helgeson's been able to get out of most of them except for that 1 run he gave up in the 2nd inning. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. Or correction, they called it. No, they did not. It was not a swing, so it's still 2-1. And now the plate umpire, it's now 3-1. And what's going on here? There's some, the umpires look like they're having a conversation with players in some spots, possibly, or somebody anyway.
The count is 3-1 though, so.
Well, 3-1 with 1 out the pitch. Bounced up there and it's ball 4. Bases loaded with 1 away. And I think this is going to be our pitching change. Or at least everybody is on the mound. Jim Strawman coming out. And it looks like we are going to have a new pitcher because one of the fielders is also coming out. And coming into the game is Drew Hendrickson. And some other guys switching around. So while we determine what is happening here, we'll tell you that today's game brought to you by Ritchie Implement. They recognize all high school athletes. High school athletics offers opportunities for sportsmanship, leadership, and personal growth. Ritchie Implement, Cobb, Barneveld, Darlington, and Lancaster. Dearth Livestock, satisfying its customers' needs for 3 generations. Fully licensed and bonded, they provide cattle pickup and transportation for area farmers. Dearth Livestock, Highway 81, Cuba City. The Barneveld Booster Club wishes our Eagles baseball team all the best in today's competition. High school athletics offers opportunities for sportsmanship, leadership, and personal growth. The Barneveld Booster Club is proud to support all athletes in upholding our winning traditions both on and off the field. Go Eagles. And Southwest Health's Eye Center. At Southwest Health's Eye Center, we specialize in advanced care for your eyes. From exams to surgery to glasses and everything in between, helping you see life more clearly is always our #1 priority. To learn more about Southwest Health's Eye Center, visit southwesthealth.org. So let's see here.
Lucas Rue is pitching for Pecatonica.
So he moves from right field to pitcher. And let's tell you about what Lucas has done this year as a pitcher. 3-1, 2 saves, 304 earned run average, 143 OPS, pitched in 10 games, 23 innings, 23 hits, 12 runs, 10 earned, walked 10, struck out 21. So then the question becomes, who's going to be out in right field?
It looks like it's number 14, Max Steele. From my vantage point, I can't confirm that though.
Well, if that's the case, then there is a new third baseman.
Who would be number 6, Jamison Johnson.
And so he moves from shortstop.
I believe that's where McEwen is now, is at short.
Got all that?
I think.
All these changes here in this inning. And Beaker, meanwhile, flied out to right in the 2nd inning, walked in the 4th. Pitch out, and nobody going anyplace. And so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, they didn't call. No pitch. That scoreboard can't be right. Another pitch out, and this one Knutson has to dive for.
It is now 2-1.
Yeah.
Scoreboard
Now
is just a little slow.
Scoreboard is out. It's probably the humidity that's making it run slow. 2-1, 1 out, bases loaded. 2-1 Barneveld. And that is just outside, 3-1. So Rue is 1 pitch away from walking in a run. 3-1 with 1 away, and the pitch fouled off. 3-2. Shipman, the 9 batter, due up, is on deck. 3-2 with 1 out and the bases loaded. And here's the pitch. Low, and a run scores. Bases loaded walk for Beaker. He gets an RBI. Fishnick scores. It's 3-1. Thousand to third. Larson to second. And here is Shipman, who grounded to the pitcher in the third, struck out looking in the 4th inning. Rachel and Ray's Pub and Grill. Stop by and enjoy a cold beverage and great food like the all-day fish fry Fridays. Rachel and Ray's Pub and Grill on the ATV Trail in Blanchardville. Now Knutson talking to Shipman. We'll tell you that today's game brought to you by Farmers Savings Bank, your local community bank in Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Edmond, Howdale, Ridgeway, and Mount Horeb. Farmers Savings Bank offers competitive loan and mortgage rates, loan and deposit rates, well, mortgage rates too, and provide exceptional service. Visit farmersavings.com or stop into your Farmers Savings Bank office, member FDIC. Called strike at the knees outside corner for strike 1. That run, by the way, Fishnick scoring, charged obviously to McEwen. And meanwhile, a 1-strike pitch. That just missed outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-1 Barneveld. The number 5 seed is trying to get to the sectional final against either Oakfield, the 3rd seed, or number 1 seed and number 1 ranked Johnson Creek. That pitch is outside, 2 balls and a strike. And Pecatonica, as we mentioned, they beat Barneveld twice in the regular season, but Barneveld has the lead here. And a swing and a miss and a fastball to make it 2-2.
Well, you've alluded to the fact, too, Steve, that Pecatonica's had base runners, so they know they can get the runners on. Can they get them home?
Fouled off down the right field line. It's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, I sure like the cooler but still very humid breeze compared to what it was before. Here comes another 2-2 pitch. Just missed outside, 3-2.
Wow.
You see during that pitch, Larson was dancing at second base. Not quite sure who was trying to distract there. 3-2 with 1 out. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. Obviously, Rue's first strikeout. Back to the top of the order, and Marks grounded to second in the first, grounded to third in the second, struck out in the 5th.
Up now, Tarek Marks.
Still bases loaded. And the first pitch is, did it hit him? Yes, it did. And a run scores.
Marks is hit by pitch.
Thousand scores. It's now 4-1. Larson to third. Beaker to second.
Casey Helgeson.
And now Helgeson grounded to second in the first. Flied to left in the third. Back to the pitcher in the 5th inning. First pitch bounces up there for ball 1. 4-1 Barneveld in front. Well, if Barneveld can hang on to win, this will be the second time in this postseason that they have beaten a higher seed. This one bigger than beating another 4-seed Highland, which they did to start their postseason. Kind of a slung in there pitch, and it's fouled off. And 1 ball, 1 strike. Helgeson steps out, now steps back in. We have to wonder how long he's going to go in the 6th inning. Time called as Helgeson steps out, looks at his coach, Lance Schmitz, down the third baseline. Now steps back in.
And remember, too, that Barneveld played their regional final on their home field against River Ridge.
That
5
pitch
seed over the A seed.
That's right. That pitch down low, 2 balls and a strike. That's what's kind of crazy about all the upsets is obviously they've all been on the visiting teams or on the home field of the loser. That pitch is downstairs, and the count 3 balls and a strike with 2 out, bases loaded.
And the helicopter's back.
Yeah. 3-1 with 2 out. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Yeah, before the game, we were treated to a helicopter hovering over the field to dry it off. 3-2, 2 out, bases loaded. Near the top of the 6th. And the pitch. Ball 4 and another run scores. So Helgeson gets an RBI on the walk. It's 5-1. Beeker to third. Marks to second. And here's the 9th batter in the inning, Owens, who struck out in the 1st, walked and scored the first run of the game in the 4th, and then in the 5th he struck out. 5-1. Barneveld leading Pecatonica. Sidearm pitch in there for a strike. Well, now the problem is, from Peck's perspective, they got to put together a big inning, either the 6th or the 7th, and they haven't been able to do that in this game. Just 1 run for them in the 2nd inning. Curveball that misses, 1 ball, 1 strike. And that, of course, was on a bases-loaded passed ball. But that's all they've scored. They've left 7 runners aboard. 1-1. Just misses outside and low, 2 balls and a strike. Pecatonica is having increasing problems just getting out of this top of the 6th.
I'm curious to see who's going to begin pitching for Barneveld in the next half inning.
That pitch down low, and it's 3-1, and now coming out to talk to his pitcher is Knudsen, the catcher. 2 runs have scored, actually 3 runs have scored with the bases loaded. On 2 bases loaded walks, along with a hit batter. 3-1 with 2 away. And here's Rue's pitch. That is hit fair down the third baseline. 1 run comes in, and another run comes in, and that is an RBI single, and it's 7-1. Beeker comes in to score run number 6. Marks comes in to score run number 7.
Beeker and Marks.
Helgeson is at second.
Gavin Fishnick.
And now Fishnick, who started this inning by walking and scoring, and now we were going to have another pitching change.
Looks like it will be. I'm not sure who's coming in. It looked like Tyler McEwen was going back to the mound to potentially pitch, but we'll see which pitcher Coach Strumman sends out to pitch the rest of the inning.
Well, Rue needed to throw strikes. Unfortunately, he has not. And do you have that spots that I can read on your phone again? Well, let's see. It's going to be a left-hander. And today's game is brought to you by Complete Auto Glass. Glass America offers glass for all of your automotive repair. Complete Auto Glass. Glass America is proud to support Barneveld Athletics. Complete Auto Glass, Glass America in Verona.
Looks like it's Carson Kirshner, number 11, who's warming up for Pecatonica. Trying to get the final out in this top half of the 6th.
Which means we'll have a new first baseman. Kirshner on the season does not have a record or ERA. His OPS, his WHIP is 1.50. He's pitched in 4 games, 6 2/3 innings, given up 5 hits but no runs. Walked 5, struck out 11. And he inherits a mess here, bases loaded. 7-1 with 2 outs, 5 runs in this top of the 6th inning for the Eagles. That means also we have a new first baseman since Kirschner was the first baseman before.
Based on how the infield's coming in, it looks like it might be number 4, Drew Hendrickson. Looks like he's going to first.
And if that's the case, he would go in for, I think, Rue.
Well, it might be Rue that's back in right field.
Okay, well, if
Yes.
that's the case.
Drew Hendrickson's blocking my view of who the right fielder is, but
Well, we'll find out when the batting position comes up. All this started with a walk to Fishnick, who is up for the second time. He walked and scored to begin this inning, and the pitch is ball 1. Kirschner, the 1-0 pitch with bases loaded and 2 out. A slow curve that misses, and it's 2-0.
I don't want to say that this is not the kind of game that I anticipated, but I could say that about any game that we've covered so far this year.
Because we've had a lot of, 2-0 pitch, curve, that's a strike, 2-1. Well, after guys who throw basically hard stuff, this has to be, Kirschner has got to be a little bit of a challenge to watch here as a batter. 2-1 pitch hit to right center field, and that is going to head to the wall. 1 run is in. Another run scores. Actually, 2 runs are in. It is second and third as Fishnick gets the RBI double.
Scores Helgeson.
And actually, I guess Helgeson was just the only one to score. And everybody else moves up. It is 8-1. And the first pitch is a strike to Schlimgen, who sacrificed back at the beginning of this inning. RBI double. A swing and a miss. This is going to be a hard inning to kind of figure out all the totals at this point. Except for one thing, 6 runs. That pitch bounced up there. And the count of ball and a strike. So Fishnick with the RBI double, scoring Halverson. Owens now is at third. And the pitch, that's a well-hit ball to left. And going back and making the catch in front of the wall is the left fielder Gordon to finally end the inning. Well, the short version is 6 runs scored. And our score after 5.5 in the sectional semifinal, Barneveld 8, Pecatonica 1 on AM 1590 WPVL.
Deciding who controls the music, remembering where you park. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your vehicle doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like remembering if you're on the 3rd or 4th level of the parking garage. That's simple human sense. Ask Brian Peterson of the Peterson Agency in Argyle if auto owners make sense for you. This is Douglas with the Mattress. The Mattress has voted best place to buy a mattress for many reasons. For one,
America's best fit. Because the Big Mattress is a mattress factory, we are truly factory good. We cut out the cost of the medium. And because of the value, we have the most buying power. The personally guarantee that the Big Mattress is 10 to 40% less than any other mattress sold in town. Promise and I will show you directly across from pricing. The Big Mattress for the rest of your life. In game 12.
Bottom of the sixth inning. After a 6-run top of the sixth for Barneveld, it's an 8-1 ball game. And it will be the 6, 7, 8 batters for Pecatonica. And the first pitch is low for ball one to Rue, who I think he is still, he had gone out back to right field after pitching. And remember what we said about maybe starting the championship game early? I don't think that's going to happen because the semifinal, the second semifinal is supposed to start right now, and I guarantee it's not going to. To hit right field, opposite field base hit for Ruben. He's thrown out at first. A 9-3 put out one away. Wow.
You thought that was for sure a base hit, but what a throw out in right field by Sherman. My goodness.
Now Steele, who scored the only run of the game for Pecatonica in the second inning. He reached on an infield single and scored in the second inning and takes a strike. Helgeson obviously cruising now, although for how long, just because of his pitch count. Ground is short, and the throw to first is in time. Larson gets the assist on the 6-3 putout, quickly 2 away in the bottom of the sixth inning. Now Havens, who struck out twice, looking in the second, swinging in the fourth. So my guess is that second game probably isn't going to start until 1:30 because you have to clean up the
hit will be number 17, Levi Krebs.
The infield, and you have to have both teams obviously get infield practice. Now to bat is Levi Krebs, 313 batting average, 702 OPS. And he is batting for Havens with 1 away and an 8-1 Barneveld lead. I think they only had 3 hits in that 6-run sixth inning. It was the walks and 2 hit batters that really killed Peck in that inning.
It's that, and then let's go back to the other point that you were making about, the next games, starting a little bit later. There's supposed to be severe weather coming through the area, or at least some thunderstorms this afternoon as our laptop gets hit.
Better check it.
Yep. Camera's good, laptop's good, everything's good. Right. But if there's weather in the area, there are no stadium lights here. So, we'll have to keep tabs to see what the afternoon and early evening looks like.
1 strike pitch. Swing and a miss. And quickly 2 strikes. You have to wonder, would they just postpone it to tomorrow?
It's a possibility, I guess.
I mean, it's very wet all over here. Curveball that misses 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, that'd be an okay option for us. 1-2. Chop foul, first base side and out of play. Kind of mess up the scheduling a little bit, but
any school that has a helicopter available to dry the field, I'm sure that there's a way to
could bring them back. Yes, right. You're right. Boy, was that a sight when we got here this morning. 1-2 pitch, fastball upstairs, 2-2. That's how you know it's going to be an unusual day, when the first thing you see at a baseball field is a hovering helicopter to try to dry the field off. 2-2 with 2 out. Fouled off, will do it again. Of course, behind us is the 5-domed, as we mentioned, Johnson Creek High School. There's a dome for the high school, There's a dome for the middle school. There's a dome for the school district offices, one for the cafeteria, and one for the gym. You've been in that one, right?
Yes, I have.
2-2 pitch, curveball that misses upstairs, 3-2. Enlow, the ninth batter, is due up. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Downstairs, ball 4. Helgeson walks Krebs, and that's going to be it, it looks like, for him, as Lance Schmitz, takes the slow walk out. And applause from the Barneveld crowd, which seems to have parked itself behind us.
Looking down the outfield line, Steve, there's a lot of lawn chairs, seemingly from end to end. There's a lot of people standing behind the bleachers. The bleachers only have about 4 or 5 rows on behind us, so it's bring your own lawn chair or standing room only here in Johnson Creek.
And a left-hander is going to pitch for Barneveld.
Ty Thousand.
So Thousand, who was in left field, comes in. Thousand on the season as a pitcher, 1-0, 2 saves, .51 ERA, and a 1.10 WHIP, 10 games, 1 start, 13 2/3 innings. He's given up 11 hits, 2 runs, just 2 runs. One of them earned. He has walked 4 and struck out 19. And one assumes that however many pitches he uses here in the last part of this 6th inning and the 7th inning are pitches he can't use in the sectional final. Time was, obviously, when you were able to win a state championship with 2 pitchers, but the pitch count rule has meant that you really have to, teams basically end up using 3 over 2 ball games. That's typically how it ends up working out.
Yeah, which I like that rule during the regular season to make sure that you can, space out your pitchers and do what they have to do. But for the postseason, I just feel like you should pitch your best players, or make your own decisions on whether or not they can continue playing beyond the 100 pitch count.
Drew Hendrickson will make his first at bat, and he flies to left, and the catch is made. 1 pitch, and we are out of the 6th inning. 1 walk, 1 left. We go to the 7th. Barneveld 8, Pecatonica 1 on AM 1590 WPVL.
We might be heading to the 7th, but we're here all day. Don't
have the management tools you need to keep your dairy's profitability at your fingertips 24 hours a day. From many choices of reliable electronic ID to effective time-saving quote gates to the state-of-the-art Dairy Plan C21, monitor and control your power systems as you manage your whole herd. Contact Ford's Motor Center, LLC, your DIA dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center for details on the latest ID systems and quote gates that can help your dairy's efficiency, putting you and your cows in the fast lane. Heads Up Salon. Cheery, Jetty, Gritty, and City at Heads Up do highlights, color, cut, trim, and new barbering services too. Heads Up Salon, North Jefferson Street, Lancaster. Howard Grant Regional Health Center and People Stay Bank coverage of high school sports on TV radio is presented by Myers Heating and Cooling and Home Comfort Store in Lancaster and Wolf Construction of Lancaster. Check out the upcoming sports schedule at AM1590WPBL.com. In Game 13.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Myers Heating and Cooling, the Myers Home Comfort Store, and Wolf Construction on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. Barneveld 8, Pecatonica 1 as we go to the 7th inning.
First for the Eagles, Ty Thousand.
And Ty Thousand, who is now pitching, will start the top of the 7th inning. And the first pitch bounced up there from the now left-handed pitcher, Kirshner. It makes you wonder, how many left-handed pitchers do you think Thousand has seen this year? Can't be very many. Although, and not him, because as it pitches upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Because I believe the number 1 pitchers that we saw start, McEwen and Helgeson, went all the way in both games. 2 balls and no strikes. And a curve that misses, 3 balls and no strikes. 8 runs, and I believe I have this right, 5 hits, and no errors for Barneveld. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Pecatonica. And that's a called strike to make it 3-1. 2 runs for Barneveld in the 4th, and 6 in the 6th inning. 3-1. That's hit foul down the left field line. Coming over, but not able to get it, is the left fielder Gordon, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Larson on deck. Three-two pitch. Hit foul again. And that goes toward the parking lot.
Which the parking situation here keeps our vehicles away from any foul balls that can cause some damage.
It would be, if it gets that far, it would be just a glancing blow anyway. 3-2 with nobody out, and the pitch. That's hit to left field, and slipping and unable to catch it is the left fielder Gordon, and Thousand will get a double to lead off the top of the 7th inning.
Again, the outfield probably not completely dry. We've seen a lot of outfielders lose their footing on those liners that have gotten into the outfield, so seems to be a continuing issue here, even into the 7th inning.
So Thousand is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. He also had a walk and a hit batter, was hit by a pitch. Now Larson, who lined to left in the 2nd, RBI single in the 4th inning, and then walked and scored in the 6th inning. And that's bunted off the backstop right in front of us. And we're checking to see that the camera is okay. First time that happened, it froze the camera. And in fact, did it freeze the camera again?
Yes, it did.
1 strike.
And now we're good.
To right field, and running in to make the catch is the right fielder Rue, and holding at 2nd is Thousand. 1 away. Here's Beaker, who
Up now, Landon Beaker.
flied out foul to right in the 2nd inning, walked in the 4th, and then singled and scored in that 6-run 6th inning. 1 away. Top of the 7th inning, 8-1 Barneveld. Cursor's pitch. Curveball outside. Pecatonica, remember, won the first. Actually, that was apparently a called strike.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
1-1, all right. Got to get that straight. 1-1 pitch. Fastball upstairs, 2-1. Remember that Pecatonica won the first 2 games, the regular season games, 7-2 and 5-1, but they are looking at the wrong end of 8-1 right here. That's why we keep saying that phrase we talked about at the top of the broadcast. 2-1 pitch. That is hit to left field. That'll drop for a base hit. Thousand will hold at 3rd. And a single for Beaker. 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Here's Shipman. Grounded back to the pitcher in the 3rd. Struck out looking in the 4th. Struck out swinging in the 5th.
Up now, Cooper Shipman.
6th, excuse me. And we're going to have another pitching change. Jim Strawman coming out. Pecatonica, of course, had and probably not arguably the best year they've ever had last year by going to state. And talk about a dramatic trip to state.
Yeah.
They beat Burlington Catholic Central 6-5. Everyone was rooting for Peck in that game, but then got beat in the championship game 8-7 by Ithaca. Now you would know something about that, right?
Yeah, where Pecatonica had the 7-run lead heading into the 6th, and then Ithaca's bats came alive in the bottom of the 6th. They scored 3 runs, followed by the 4 runs and the walk-off base hit.
Mound conference completed. Here's Shipman. Now he steps off. First and third with 1 out. And Barneveld leading Pecatonica 8-1. First pitch. Bunatep foul at the plate for strike 1. And of course, Ithaca was one of the number 1 seeds to get bounced.
Mm-hmm.
Belmont and Ithaca, both number 1 seeds, both one and done. That is kind of hard to believe, but there is a theory about that our own Mark Evenstad has. The 1-strike pitch, swing and a miss. Throw down to second, bounces and gets away, but Thousand not moving from third. So that'll be a stolen base for Beaker. He's at second and third with 1 out. Thousand decided not to go from third. That may have been more of should I expend the energy since I got to go out and pitch sort of thing. Meanwhile, 1-1, fouled off. And actually it's 2 strikes, no balls. So Mark's theory is that the seeding upsets are the results of a combination of the pitch count rules and the weather. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And down goes Shipman swinging. 2 away. And it's simply this. You know what Wisconsin weather is like when you have, in the spring, or what passes for spring in this state, when games have to be rescheduled and you have a bunch of ball games that are right in a row. Here is Marks. Curve fouled off, strike 1. Marks grounded to first to lead off the ball game, grounded to third in the third, struck out in the 5th, was hit by a pitch and walked in a run, or hit by a pitch, drove in a run, and then scored himself in that 6-run 6th inning. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. So his theory is that teams end up pitching 4th, 5th pitchers in games like that and lose, and therefore get a lower seed. That doesn't necessarily show how good they are when they have their top guys out there on the mound. 2-strike pitch, ground to third, picked up, and the throw to first is in time, and that ends inning number 7 for Barneveld. They have 3 outs away to head to the sectional final. Barneveld 8, Pecatonica 1 after 6.5. Back after this on AM 1590 WPVL.
Your family's health is your top priority, and it's ours too. Grant Regional Health Center has your health in mind by growing and expanding to offer more services, more providers, and delivering better care for your entire family. From prenatal and obstetrics to emergency and preventative care, you don't have to look far. Turn to our experts for compassionate care right in your neighborhood. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here. There remains a shortage of WIAA licensed officials for a number of high school sports in Wisconsin. These coaches have committed their time and effort to ensure we maintain education-based athletics. Because without officials, there are no games. Please don't hesitate. If you want an exciting and rewarding experience, it's also a great way to earn more than a few dollars. Get licensed as a contract official today by accessing the official tab at WIAAWI.org to get started. A message from Queen Bee Radio and the WIAA Student Education in Sports. In game 14.
8-1, Barneveld over Pecatonica as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Barneveld is 3 outs away from meeting either Oakfield, the 3rd seed, or number 1 seed Johnson Creek in the sectional final.
Up first for the Vikings, Tyler McEwen.
Top of the inning, or top of the batting order, McEwen, Johnson, and Knutson for Pecatonica. And, you know, this whole game demonstrates one of the great reasons to watch sports. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. As the phrase after the one everybody knows about ABC's Wide World of Sports, 1-0 pitch, that's a strike, 1-1 outside corner, is the human drama of athletic competition. But there's another thing, which is, of course, the fact that it really is not as predictable as you think it should be.
Right.
That pitch is fouled or as a hit, and a diving catch attempt is made, and that will drop for a base hit. Fishnick was going back at an odd angle and could not make the catch, and it ends up being a base hit. So McEwen at first.
Jamison Johnson up next.
And here is Johnson, who singled but left at 3rd in the 1st, struck out looking in the 2nd, and struck out in the 5th. I mean, the thing about it is that, I mean, today there were, you know, you got the number 1 pitchers going, you figure it ought to be a fast game. First pitch is upstairs, ball 1. This game started at 10 o'clock. It's been going on for 10. Oh, that's right. Nevertheless, it's been going on for 2 hours and 20 minutes. And that idea of a 3 o'clock sectional final, that is not happening.
No.
Pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, I forgot about the 10:30 start. I mean, 3 hours? You know, no, but it is about the length of a football game at this point. Strike at the letters. And it's 2 balls and a strike. A lot of pitches in this game. And obviously that 6-run 6th inning took a long time. And then a lot of left on base runners. That's fouled off. Behind us, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. So it's just one of the, you know, and of course, all of the upsets that have taken place up to this point in the baseball postseason. Pitches downstairs, and the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Knutson on deck. And the 3-2 to Johnson. That is hit to left field, and missing the ball is the left fielder and here comes a runner around to 3rd, and the throw will not be made. And so that is an RBI double for Johnson. McEwen scores, and it's 8-2.
Johnson's double scores.
Here's Knutson.
McEwen
Flied to right in the 1st.
up now.
Hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Grounded to short in the 5th.
I don't see who replaced Thousand in left field, but again, slipping, trying to go for the baseball.
And that pitch is hit to left center field, and that will drop for a hit. And around 3rd to score is Johnson. RBI single for Knutson, and it's 8-3.
Knutson singles, scores Johnson.
Here is Kirshner,
Up now,
who
Carson
walked in the
Kirshner.
1st, sacrifice in the 3rd, singled in the 5th. And Kirshner, a left-handed batter, and going up against a left-handed pitcher, Thousand. And again, you ask yourself, how many left-handed batters see left-handed pitchers in anywhere in Southwest Wisconsin? First pitch inside for ball 1 on a curveball.
I don't think we've seen too many left-handed pitchers, period.
Throwback. Well, that was the interesting thing about Viroqua, because Viroqua had 4 left-handed batters, and their top 2 pitchers were both lefties. And Henry Cruiser from Cuba City had to be like, what's this?
Right.
Pops up on the infield left side, and the catch made by the third baseman Schlimgen. And one out.
Up now, Grady Gordon.
Gordon struck out looking in the first, flied to left in the third, and grounded to first in the fifth inning. 8-3. Barneveld leads Pecatonica. The first pitch is outside for ball one. Knudsen at first. On the second RBI hit of this inning. That's hit, popped up third base side and foul. And that hit right behind the bleachers and surprised somebody back there.
I think it hit someone's chair. They were ducking for cover, and the ball hit the back end of their chair.
One ball, one strike, one out. 8-3. Barneveld leading Pecatonica in the bottom of the seventh inning. And the pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike. Pecatonica needs 5 to tie. They've already gotten 2. And that's hit foul, or hit down the right field line. And the catch is made, and Pecatonica is down to its last out of the season. And Roos struck out in the second, hit by a pitch in the third, actually that 9-3 ground out back in the 6th inning.
Up now, Trevor Dasher.
And now it's going to be Trevor Dasher, who was a pinch runner before, and he hits the first pitch foul. Dasher, .222 batting average, .522 OPS with 1 RBI. Remember, he was a pinch runner before, a courtesy runner, technically. And the 0-1 pitch, lined to short, dropped and then picked up, and the throw to first is in time, and that's it. 2 runs for Pecatonica on 3 hits with 1 left, but the Barneveld Golden Eagles, the 5th seed, knock off number 2 seed Pecatonica 8-3, and so it will be Barneveld against the winner of Oakfield and Johnson Creek for a trip to state this afternoon. It's going to be sometime after 3 o'clock. And it'll be on 97.7 Country WGLR. 8-3, Barneveld beats Pecatonica. Back with more after this on AM 1590 WPVL.
Times have changed since Mom first created Culver's Double Butterburger Deluxe, but one thing sure hasn't.
Frank, what would you like to share for show and tell? This is a Butterburger. Fresh beef, never frozen, seared to perfection, topped with real Wisconsin cheese on a lightly buttered bun.
Hungry? Stop in for one today. It's time for the Culver's Cool Down Postgame Show, brought to you by Culver's in Dubuque, Salina, and Prattville. With Clarify Larvicide, you get more than just a fly control product. You get more support, more expertise, and more control to prevent the emergence of nuisance flies from the manure of treated cattle by as much as 96%. Perfectly blended in your mineral supplements to become a part of what you're already doing, feeding your cattle. Can't control the flies with a comprehensive program built around Clarify Larvicide and Starbar products. To learn more about Clarify Larvicide, contact your local feed dealer or visit centralflycontrol.com. At Blaze Farm and Fleet, we give you the farm supplies you need because we get you. And with June being dairy month, you know we have great prices on dairy products to keep cows and calves happy and healthy. Like 50-pound bags of Black Chardonnay line, $2.69 for Force members, $20 off a raw Worcestershire Sherry Cooper, and get 10% off assorted better-built transportation job site boxes. Rewards members save an extra 5%. We get you the farm supplies you need because we get you at Blaze Farm and Fleet. Post-match 1.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Wolf Construction, Myers Heating and Cooling, and the Myers Home Comfort Store on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. Well, this is why they played the game. The two regular season meetings did not go like today did. Barneveld gets the win over Pecatonica, the 5th seed Vikings over the number 2 seed. One more time, the 5th seed Eagles over the number 2 seed Vikings 8-3. I forget that there's more than one Vikings team around here. And so with the win, Barneveld will take on the winner of the next game between Oakfield and Johnson Creek. And we thought that game was slated for 3 o'clock. There's no way that's going to take place unless there's an incredibly fast second game. And we'll have the game regardless for you, assuming it's played today on 97.7 Country WGLR. There's some question maybe about that also. That's really more a speculation point. But more to the point, Pecatonica got plagued by leaving base runners on. Barneveld got 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning after Peck got 1 in the 2nd. And then all of a sudden, Pecatonica just blew up Barneveld blew up all over Pecatonica. That's top of the 6th inning. The 6-run 6th inning that was really just 3 hits, but walks, hit batsmen, and just everything kind of went wrong for the Vikings, and things went right for the Eagles.
Yeah, the pitching just missing the strike zone. That's really what it came down to. If you weren't missing the strike zone, you were hitting a batter. And, for Peck, that's just not – it's a bad day to have a bad day. That's the best way to describe it. But give credit to Barneveld capitalizing on those opportunities and getting base runners on to get them home. And as we were mentioning earlier during the broadcast, Pecatonica had their chances. They had base runners on. They were just unable to bring them home. Good defense by Barneveld to recover after those base runners got on.
Trenton Owens today, 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Gavin Fishnick, 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Ty Thousand, 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Larson was 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Beaker, who wasn't even in the original lineup, but he was 1 for 2 with a run scored. Marks was 1 for 4 with a run score with an RBI. Helgeson was 1 for 3 with an RBI. So they really spread the wealth. Everybody kind of contributed in this game basically for the Eagles.
Yeah, everyone got their hits in, and everyone made a contribution to help Barneveld propel themselves to the win today. And that's exactly what you want to see at this point in the season. Everyone getting their hits in, and now that gives them confidence heading into the sectional final coming up later on this afternoon / early evening, depending on what the start time looks like. But there's still another game to be played yet before we get to that point, and we'll see who awaits Barneveld in the sectional final coming up later on.
The line score: 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 6 runners left on for, actually it was 8 runners as things turned out, left on for Barneveld. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 9 runners left on for Pecatonica. Helgeson gets the win on the mound, and on the season that makes him 7-1. Ty Thousand finished up. McEwen gets the loss on the mound, and McEwen, that's his first loss of the season, so he ends at 5-1, and McEwen is senior, so that's his last high school game. Lucas Rue, Gavin Loomis, Talon Havens, Jameson Johnson, Elijah Knutson, Carson Kirshner, Max Steele, McEwen, as we mentioned, all seniors and are all done with their careers with this loss. 8-3, Barneveld beats Pecatonica to head the sectional final against either Oakfield or Johnson Creek. We'll be back with more of the Culver's Cool Down postgame show presented by Culver's in Dubuque, Galena, and Platteville on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL.
At the YMCA, finding your right starts by making an impact together, helping rise for the better. It can be the gift of time or treasure, supporting a community with heart without measure. Here, compassion through commitment, finding fulfillment through enrichment, serving and improving. What a way to live, and what a gift it is to give. Find your why and get involved today at YMCA.org for a better us. You want to give your baby everything, so start with a safe sleep area. Babies younger than 1 should always be placed to sleep on their back, on firm and flat surface with a safety-approved crib, and keep blankets, pillows, and other soft and loose items out of the crib when the baby is in it. Learn more about Safe Sleep for Babies at safetosleep.nrch.nih.gov. Sponsored by the U.S. Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development.
Post-match 2.
Gray Regional Health Center and People's State Bay coverage of high school baseball presented by Myers Heating and Cooling, the Myers Home Comfort Store and Wolf Construction on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. 8-3, Barneveld beats Pecatonica, the number 2 seed, and the 6 Rivers East champion is done. And the second place team, Barneveld, moves to 16-5, and they will play again either Oakfield or Johnson Creek. Oakfield was ranked 8th, Johnson Creek number 1. Even though, again, neither of those teams won their conference, and obviously Barneveld didn't, but another conference champion goes down, and another higher seed goes down. And again, the unpredictability of high school sports.
Well, just high school baseball in general this year. I mean, the unpredictability of, how teams have played during the postseason. We talked about it throughout the game about, how many weird-looking numbers have advanced throughout the postseason. I mean, the regional final for Barneveld, a 5 seed taking on an 8 seed.
And this isn't even the. There's that 6-5 match.
Right.
In Division 2, I believe that is. So, it's just. Somebody's going to have to look at the seeding meetings that something's not predicting correctly.
Yeah, or somehow alter the schedule so that you can space those games out throughout the season. We were talking about it earlier during the broadcast about how the weather's factored in, and then the 100 pitch rule, how that factors into the equation. If you're playing 6 games in a 5-day span in some cases, I mean, there's only so many arms that you have available, and that does. The wins and losses aren't necessarily the dictator of how good your team actually is. But here today, everyone's well rested. Everyone's, been able to get ready for today's game. The better team won today, and give credit to Barneveld scoring 8 runs on a very good Pecatonica team.
Well, and the other thing, you look at, sometimes we over-focus on head-to-head matchups.
Right.
And, head-to-head that's what happened on April 15th in Blanchardville, and that's what happened on April 30th in Barneveld. That was more than a month ago.
Right.
So it's not surprising, perhaps, that if you're basing somebody's high, and I'm not saying that Peck didn't deserve the seed they got, but if you're making that comparison head-to-head, you're talking about something that happened a whole month ago.
Well, and how many games were played during that month too, with all the games that were being rescheduled and things like that. So yeah, there's certainly that element, and teams can certainly change throughout the course of the season. And if you're having a lot of momentum heading towards the postseason, that's the ideal spot that you want to be in. And Barneveld certainly fits that bill, and they're a game away from going to state.
That's right. And the Tricor Turning Point is presented, as always, by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. Pretty obvious choice would be the top of the 6th inning, which was really, if you think about it, with just 3 hits, producing 6 runs. And the reason he got the 6 runs was the Pecatonica pitcher suddenly not being able to find the strike zone, and a bad time to not be able to find the strike zone.
Well, if we're looking for a specific moment, I think it's when Lucas Rue came in relief for pitching, and I believe the first 2 batters that he faced, he walked, and then that led to the 2-run base hit that brought 2 additional runs in, because there were a couple runs that were walked in, then another base hit that scored 2 more, and then the floodgates just kind of opened for Barneveld. That really stretched the lead out and kind of changed the complexity of the game from that point forward. Before that, you kind of felt that Pecatonica might have a chance if they were able to keep it to, just a 2-run or 3-run deficit. But once the once the bats started to come alive after those walks were issued, really helped Barneveld pull away from Peck in this one.
Yep, walk, sacrifice, hit batter, walk, bases loaded walk, and hit batter, walk, and then 2 base hits. And that was, you got to be able to throw strikes, and they were not able to do it when they had to, and there you go. So, again, 8-3, Barneveld beats Pecatonica, and we'll head to the championship of the Johnson Creek Sectional against either Oakfield or Johnson Creek. 3-ish. Should we even say that?
I'd say after 4 o'clock is probably the safer bet, if that.
On AM 1590, or that'll be on 97.7 Country WGLR. We will be back to wrap up game number 1 of our afternoon from Johnson Creek after this on AM 1590 WPVL.
Teachers shape the future. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist to make preventing pandemics your life's work, sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist to help combat climate change, and generating possibilities for a student who'll be the first in their family to graduate college. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Hi, Vicki. How's your knee doing? It feels better, Doctor. Those painkillers worked great. I was hoping to get some more. We're being very careful with prescription painkillers. So let's continue with therapy and off-the-shelf anti-inflammatories for now.
Prescription painkillers are America's newest epidemic, causing abuse and addiction for millions. The smaller the dose prescribed and taken, the better. A message from the American Academy.
Say something.
Hello.
About 10 o'clock.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Wolf Construction, Myers Heating and Cooling, and Myers Home Comfort Store on AM 1590 WPVL. 8-3, Barneveld beats Pecatonica to go to the sectional final. We are joined now by Barneveld starting and winning pitcher, and he had some offense also. Casey Helgeson, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win. Obviously, you're not concerned about the fact that you lost to this Pecatonica team twice in the regular season, right?
No, not at all. I mean, we just came out here and we just played, and we ended up winning.
How'd you feel like you pitched today? It was a game where it seemed pretty obvious that neither pitcher was going to go the whole way. A lot of pitches early in the game, but it seemed like you kind of found the plate later. Would you say that was accurate?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, it's hot today. I mean, it's humid, and it took me a while to get adjusted to it. I think that big inning we had definitely gave me some more motivation to stay on the mound and keep throwing.
Yeah, the sixth run inning, that was something else. And funny thing is, there were only 3 hits, but you guys showed really good plate discipline, and the guys that got hit showed good, not wincing or anything like that. You went down to first.
Yeah, I mean, the strike zone, it's typically going to be smaller here at sectionals. I mean, it's definitely shortened up a lot. I mean, that's good for us. I mean, we seem to have a good eye on the ball, and it worked out well.
You've already beaten one higher seed before this. You beat Highland. You took advantage. You didn't have to face Belmont because they got beat by River Ridge. Now here you are. You're a 5th seed, and you're in the sectional final. As a pitcher, do you feel like you have any explanation for why there have been so many upsets according to the seeding? Or
I think it's just baseball. Anything can happen. I mean, clearly anything can happen, but I don't know. I think just if the teams get lucky, they hit the ball right to you. That's how good teams can lose. Just depends on the day.
Were you impressed, by the way, at the helicopter when you guys came in this morning? You ever seen that at a high
No,
school
I
game?
haven't. I was surprised when that happened.
All right. One other question for you. That is, what do you feel like you guys have to do in the sectional final? Because you're going to be facing either Oakfield, which is ranked 8th, or Johnson Creek, which is ranked number 1.
We just got to watch them play this game and scout them out as best as we can, and hopefully we can stay hot and hit the ball well again and pitch well.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win. We'll see you for the sectional final this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Casey Helgeson of the Barneveld Golden Eagles gets the win as the pitcher and part of that 6-run 6th inning. And Barneveld with a win today over Pecatonica, 8-3. So again, it will be Barneveld against either Oakfield or Johnson Creek in the sectional final. And we are joined now by by Barneveld coach Lance Schmitz. Thanks for joining us as Tyler fixes the tech.
Yeah, we got phones all over the place here, folks. If you get to see this, man, this looks great.
You got media all over the
place.
Yeah,
it's a great day.
Well, you have to be thrilled today. This is a huge win for you guys, obviously. And obviously, also, you guys were not the least bit intimidated by playing a team that beat you already this year twice.
You know, I said this before, and I don't know what Jim said in the pregame too, but you know, there has been years that the two of us should be meeting in this game over and over, and we finally got to. They're a fabulous team, great pitchers, great players. They listen. They are a class act. And that's the teams that you want to play. I mean, we do play some teams that may not be the classiest teams, and we're in and out of them. We hope to not be there very often. But Jim does a great job. Their kids going through the line, you know, they all know each other. They're 15 miles apart from each other. And, you know, they got us twice this year in two pretty good games, and we made the mistakes. Today, I don't even know if they really made the mistakes. I think we played really well. You know what I mean?
No errors in the game.
That's a key. That's a key, and Jim would say it too. The first team that makes the big mistake is the first team that's taking their butt home. You know, we dropped that ball at first base, and you know that was a frustration one right there a little bit too. It's a close play. You know, we had some big hits. We have two weaknesses in my opinion, you know, and I heard this quote many years ago by Jack Bennett, and I know you will light your face up when I say this.
Oh, yes.
And he was talking at our baseball convention, and he talked about as you progress through a tournament, as he won the national championship for Stevens Point that year, he said, if you have a weakness, it will slowly evolve, and that'll be your demise. You know, and we had a couple weaknesses that we really worked on, and one is strikeouts, and we limited our strikeouts today. And the first time we faced these guys, I think we struck out 14 times, so they only had to field the ball seven times all year, or all day. And we just we said, guys, we got to put the ball in play. Put the ball in play. I don't care where it goes. And that was our weakness, and we changed it. And if you can hide that weakness, if you can fix that weakness, you're going to carry yourself on. And I'll never ever forget that. That was back in 2006.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great observation from a basketball
coach. Yeah. He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. The thing, you guys had great plate discipline, I thought, particularly that 6th inning, because you only had 3 hits, but you guys walked when you had the opportunity, and guys took one for the team when you had the opportunity.
You better, or you will be sitting, man. That's that's what we have there too. And no, we do. We pride ourselves in walks. We pride ourselves. This game has become that the pitch count is such a major piece of the ball game. And at one point, Tyler was at a real low pitch compared to Mike Casey. And the whole dugout knew it, and then everybody started to drive his pitch count up. The pitch count is in such a facet of the ball game, and once we were able to pop him to that 90, we knew it was downhill. We honestly thought their third baseman would come and pitch. He's a very, very quality pitcher with Jamison Johnson, and they didn't. And maybe he has an arm issue. I don't know what they have, but he's a very, very good player too. And unless the game was where it was, but yeah, it was a fun game.
We just talked to Casey, and he threw a lot of pitches early, but got out of the jams he was in, and it seemed to get stronger or more accurate, actually, I would say, as the game got on.
Yeah, and we know too, when you get to sectionals, I warned everybody too, the box gets pretty tight, so you got to make sure that you're with my pitchers, they throw strikes. If you got a nibbler, you're gonna have high pitch counts. Casey strikes out a lot of kids, so he's gonna have a high pitch count quickly. And then with that high pitch count, all of a sudden, boom, we get a few, five runners, 5 pitch at bats, and that drives that count up. But he's able to strike out a lot of kids, which really alleviates your defense quite a bit too.
And okay, so one more question: what do you feel like you have to do this afternoon? We hope it gets played. The sectional final.
Oh, it better. Yeah. It'll be great. Mark Blakely's out here with a fabulous team with Johnson Creek. Aaron Shep over there. Aaron was at our sectional, I want to say back in 16 or 17, and won it all back there at our place. And he brought a great team up there. In fact, he beat Peck in the finals. And as Mark said too, and I don't know as much about Oakfield as I do with the Creekers, and as he said too, it's a Shep team. He said they're going to be as solid as can be. They are going to throw strikes. They do not make mistakes, and so that's what you're going to see here. You're going to see some superior athletes with the Creekers. They're fast. They're got good arms, and it'll be a fun game to watch. And we'll see how we get up to it. So we're going to have a Six Rivers and Trailways sectional final here today. So I'm kind of excited for that.
Yeah, and we'll see if the helicopter makes a
Wasn't that
reappearance.
cool? That was so cool, man. I
The
took
last thing I
pictures.
thought I was going to see today
Yeah.
was a helicopter hovering over the field to dry off the field.
Man, I sent so many pictures to people, and I'm like, look at this, and they're all like, this is so cool.
Yes.
But like I said to the boys too, I'm looking around, and there are so many people here that took a day off to come here, and that was my big thing to them. As I said, man, look at all these people here to watch you guys. Go tell them thank you, man. They took a day to come and watch you play baseball, and just enjoy the time with some other people. So go thank them. I mean, that means a ton for our kids to see that too.
Well, we're going to hang around for the
We
sectional
appreciate
final
that.
ourselves.
We appreciate that. Hopefully, we can put a good show on and
hope so.
and make it happen again. We'll see.
All right, congratulations on the win again, and good luck
I appreciate
this
it.
afternoon later in the sectional final against either Oakfield or Johnson
Yep,
Creek.
two good teams here. Yeah.
All right,
Thanks for coming today, guys. It's a lot of time on yours too, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
The privilege is ours to do games like this. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. Lance Schmitz, the Barneveld coach, 8-3 Barneveld over Six Rivers East champion Pecatonica. And again, it will be Barneveld against either Oakfield or Oakfield out of the Trailways North, or Johnson Creek out of the Trailways South in the championship game, which, well, a couple hours from now on 97.7 Country WGLR. I think we've done what we need to do at this point, so we're going to find some lunch and figure out if we need to take everything down with us, what we think the weather's going to be like. But before all that, we'll tell you that the sports directors of Queen Bee Radio are Mark Evenstad, RJ Osterhaus. Tyler Dictanis is our digital program producer. That would be either Tech Tyler or Digital Dictanis, either way.
Yeah, whatever works.
Gets it to work. That's the important thing. Johnny Page is our chief engineer. Thanks to Brady Ramsire and the staff at Johnson Creek High School, including the helicopter. Thanks to our sponsors who help us bring this game to you, and thank you for joining us. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball, presented by Myers Heating and Cooling. The Myers Home Comfort Store and Wolf Construction is a Queen Bee Radio Sports presentation on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL Platteville. Barneveld beats Pecatonica 8-3. The Eagles play Oakfield or Johnson Creek for a trip to state this afternoon. After 3 o'clock, we'll have it for you on 97.7 Country WGLR. From the Wolf Construction broadcast table for Tyler Dictanis, I'm Steve Prestigard. ESPN Radio is next. We'll see you for the sectional final on 97.7 Country WGLR.